playing for him tonight.
Who wins, Billy Moore?
I've got the Broncos. I think there's still so much pride in that team. Haas is fit playing. Walsh is there. All their big guns are playing. So they will get home against a very gallant Knights team.
So is it the big names playing for pride or a club who's trying to return to the finals? One of the stories of the season last year's Wooden Spooners, the Knights. What can they do with their captain back tonight, even though a couple of big guns are gone for the season? Kick off in Brisbane, first carry from Hopwood. The Knights have got it playing in their predominantly away white strip and running towards the left of screen and northern end in this first half. Marju gets to the 20 and now Manalele with carry 3 and a couple of post-contact metres for the young Kiwi-born second rower. He'll play at 15 from halfway. Crossland at dummy half, gives to right and centre field for Croker, runs into the defence and takes the tackle for the Knights on his own 40. Crossland to the right, given on to Mooney. There's been such a successful night since making the move from the Raiders. Plays it on halfway, end of first set. It'll be a kick from Smith downfield. Right boot bomb, straight at Walsh. Catches it 8 from his own line, the Brisbane custodian. Runs over the 10 to a roar of the crowd before being met by the defence. And the Broncos will start this set, well, a dozen from their own line. Walsh just walked off the mark for a moment. Told to go back by referee Grant Atkins. Chris Butler is in the bunker tonight. And as ever, your texts are welcome on 0467 920 222. Brisbane with the ball midway goal line halfway as a run taken by Mariner. Plays the football and now there's Haas. He's got that right knee heavily strapped but did tweak his shoulder in the warm-up. Great work from our man Zane Bojack. He's all over it on the touchline. Haas plays at 15 from halfway. Gives 7 or 8 in the gain. 1 out from Carrigan next carry. Last play Brisbane and it's Reynolds with the kick downfield. Lays his right slipper into it. It's a high kick which is caught by returning skipper Ponga on the 10. Gives it to Marju and he'll be tackled about 22 from the southern end goal, so we get through the first 2 sets. No score in Brisbane after 2 minutes after it was Penrith 42 to 18 in Mudgee, and earlier today the Warriors 42 to 6 down at Robina over the Titans.
I like the back 5 of the Knights. There's so much power and strength there and creativity. That's going to be one of their strengths tonight, bring the ball back from the kick returns.
The Gagai to the 40. Of course, he'll be in Broncos colours again next year. Now forward again goes Manalele, tackled 2 metres inside Newcastle territory, and a wavy fisty. Set restart for Newcastle, and this helps Mooney go forward and take the Knights into attack with a fresh set. Crossland passes right to Croker, onto Smith. Dummies and straightens, taken down by the tackle of Willison. 31 metres out. Played to Ponga, jumps blindside, comes back open to the left, runs into the tackle of Carrigan, and Good gets put down. 21 metres out, 20 in from touch on the right. Back to left and open side through the hands of Smith. On to Sharp. Beats 1, Fletcher Sharp beats 2, beats 3 and scores! Newcastle strike as Fletcher Sharp from fullback to the number 6. He beats flimsy Broncos defenders to score the opening try for the Knights after only 3 minutes.
Oh, what a ripping try there from the 5'8" for the Knights. Fletcher Sharp had plenty of work to do. He beats Reynolds cold on the left foot step and then powers away from a chasing Reece Walsh. He got a hand to him but couldn't bring him down. And all in all, that's very poor defence by the Broncos. Good work by the Knights. Their first couple of sets have been very impressive. They've found plenty of space. They've won the collisions, poked their nose through, and a very unheralded forward pack here. I gave a rap to the back 5, but a lot of these guys in the pack of the Knights really aren't big household names, but they play well this season, and we're seeing again early on that they certainly are not afraid of this Broncos forward pack.
Well, 2 things I noticed there. Firstly, you can't have a 5'8" just pushing off his opposite halfback and going through that easy. Adam Reynolds, if he's going to play on and he's going to try and see out the season, he needs to defend better than that for the Broncos. Also, if you watch Payne Haas, the way he's tackling at their cue, he's carrying that right arm. There's real concerns. I'll be surprised if the Knights don't go at him more.
Zane Bojack on the touchline. Fletcher Sharp now with 8 tries this year and Sandon Smith is going to keep the kicking duties, even though Ponga is back in the team. Well, he's got them for now, but obviously nursing that quad injury, Callan Ponga. So Sandon Smith, who's got a good strike rate, 31 of 39 this year, slightly left of the upright, strikes it with his right boot, and the Knights have got the perfect start in Brisbane. Newcastle 6 leads the Broncos 0, and we've only played 4 minutes here at the Cauldron. Around the grounds in the AFL, Port Adelaide lead Greater Western Sydney by 11 points, Port 39, Giants 28, that second quarter, and the game between Carlton and Brisbane has just got underway.
They buy Dylan Brown from Parramatta, and he's been a good buy. Expensive, but good. But you sort of forget Sandon Smith sort of slipped through. He came up from the Roosters. Just watching him early on in this game, he is really, really electric, quicker than I thought.
And the try scorer actually catches the ball from the kickoff in sharp, and he dishes it off there to young Hopwood, taken 10 from that southern in-goal area. 0467 920 222. The text message number to get in touch. Marju play 3, and now Manu Leilua play 2. It wasn't play 3 for Manu Leilua, tackled midway goal line and halfway. The Knights working their way upfield in the hands of Croker. They've just got a bunch of forwards that just does the job most weeks. Now to the left, it's given to Sharp, feeds the inside line of Bradman Best, runs into the tackle of Ricky, needs help from Haas and Reynolds. They put him down. Best plays it on halfway, played to Crossland, given to Smith, rushed at but kicks downfield, shallowish kick, met by Walsh coming forward 15 from his own line, gives the pass to man wrapping infield in Anderson, and Grant Anderson playing on the wing tonight for the Broncos is tackled 15 from his own line. Now in the hands of Karapani, just beyond the 20 for the Bronx as he stopped. Walsh is a distributor, gives it off left shoulder to Mariner. Dean Mariner short of the 30, out on the left edge for Brisbane. 6-0 to the Knights as Va'a Semu trucks forward, stop 15 from halfway. Blindside, Mam hits the ball at pace, but runs into the tackle of Smith and Crossland. Mam to halfway as he plays it. Pakes directs it blindside left, end of set. Walsh is the man, he's got it, but he kicks downfield. It's going to come down 20 out. Ponga slides underneath the leaping Bronco to catch it.
What a catch.
Oh, that was interesting.
A high-risk catch. It was amazing. He came up with the ball. He caught it on the ground sliding.
He allowed the Broncos to have a play at that, and in the flashing moment, I didn't catch the number plate of the Bronco that should have jumped at that. Oh, Reynolds has just been steamrolled there. Run from, he's so hurt, Reynolds. It was a great run from Marju. He's trying to crawl to get up. Quick ball to the left. Manalele, you a line break. Given to Best. Back infield to the young second rower who's brought down only 8 metres out. And the referee is going to call play up because they're going to have to send Adam Reynolds to head injury assessment, even though the Broncos were way tardy getting back on side.
They were on the rack.
And this is Zane, down to you on the touchline.
Yeah, look, he got pushed off and he had no answer. He tried to get up a couple of times, but Marju, he just got caught. I don't really think it was the forearm, more with the chest area, I reckon, and he just got bumped off, and no good. Adam Reynolds going straight down the race for HIA.
Knights to the right, and Smith has taken only 11 metres out, so Newcastle on the attack. Reynolds off the ground, question mark over Haas, and also Willison too. Little grubber into the in-goal from Ponga. Now, Walsh has taken it, was about to race 100 metres downfield, but the referee's whistle stops him. And is there a penalty going to Newcastle here for a man being held back?
Interesting outcome because Walsh is away.
And just tune in here.
So no grounding. I've got a grab on the Knights player illegally.
So this is potentially a penalty, potentially a sin bin as well. Now Xavier Willison might have an issue as well, Zane, down to you.
Yeah, I'm just trying to locate Xavier. I know Ben Hunt's out there replacing.
Jaden's Hunt is out there too. So we've now got B Hunt, J Hunt out there.
Okay.
And I've just seen a message come through that there's a concern for Willison.
Okay, I'll follow up on that one.
Looking at the action for Dean Mariner.
It's where the Mariner holds one of the Knights players off the ball, just there. He grabs him. Yeah,
he wasn't in possession of the ball.
but he was going to be.
Got a clear grab by Dean Mariner, which is a penalty. We just look weighing up the options of a professional foul now. A no try, take it.
I can't see how, after AJ Brimson got sent to the bin earlier today for something very similar in that Warriors big win at Rabina, this is very same. And it should be 10 minutes in the sin bin for Dean Mariner.
It is a professional foul.
Yeah,
For Dean Mariner is a professional foul. We're really at the possibility of a penalty try because of the proximity of Reece Walsh. We have a decision.
So, is he going to the bin?
You'll have to.
Yeah. That was Chris Butler in the bunker. Yeah.
Professional foul.
Dean Mariner goes to the bin, which is very consistent from, if you've been across the day's footy, that's exactly what
So you
AJ got sent to the bin for Rabina earlier today.
They've got dramas for mine, the Broncos, because with 13 on 13, they are looking a little bit off the pace. The Knights are punching their nose through at will. If they control possession here and play clever football, which I think they just seem to be on the money. Look at the Knights are in the groove.
They are, and they're targeting that left-hand side or right-side defences. Here's another big charge. Willison's got a knee injury, guys. We're waiting on the diagnosis.
Thank you. Forward goes McEwen, tackled 5 out. Knights to the left through Croker. On to Mooney. Trey Mooney tackled for Newcastle, 5 from the Brisbane line. Newcastle already lead 6-0. Crossland passes right. A little bit disorganised between Sharp and Smith. Sharp catches it and eventually has to go forward with the two halves basically standing in the same phone box and not knowing who was going to go forward. Now Crossland to the right through Smith to Ponga. Beats the tackle of one. Passes to the wing for Young. Gets through Mam and scores. And the Knights have started brilliantly in Brisbane. And this has got danger signs all over it for the Premiers. Newcastle double up for a 10-0 lead. Dom Young over in the right corner, and we've only played 8 minutes.
We touched on the fact we thought the Knights are in a groove, and they are. But from a Broncos perspective, what's probably more worrying is how bad they're looking. They're missing tackles they should be making, and the fullback who was able to punch his nose through there, Ponga, found some space. He gets the ball here, Dom Young. He should have been tackled. They play touch. The fullback in the 5'8", Ezra Mam and Reece Walsh go touch. They should have stopped him there, Zano. That to me is incredibly poor defence when they knew that he couldn't have passed to anyone else. Young, he had only one course he could take. They should have stopped him.
17th try of the season for Young. He joins Mazu as they race to the leading try scorer for the season for the Knights. I can tell you, Cat 1 for Adam Reynolds. He won't be back tonight. As I said, waiting on diagnosis from Willison. But this has been the worst possible start by the Broncos. You started off your coverage tonight, Q, by saying the Broncos got beaten by the Cowboys, who just conceded 82 to the Roosters. I think that might show us where the Broncos are at the moment.
So, repeating Reynolds, Cat 1 and won't play Battle of Brisbane against the Dolphins next week.
Yeah.
Done.
And we wondered then, well, there's 4 games left after that. Sandon Smith from out on the right, couple of metres in from touch. Misses the conversion near side. He's 1 from 2. Scoreline remains Newcastle 10, Brisbane 0. You're with NRL Saturday on ABC Sport. Quentin Hull along with Billy Moore and Zane Bojack. 0467 920 222. If you want to get in touch, 0467 920 222. Tracy from Gympie says, can the Broncos NRLW team get out there? They'd put more effort in. Oh, Tracy!
Well, what's blowing me away is this unheralded forward pack from the Knights are absolutely tearing the Broncos pack apart.
Kickoff takes effect, and first carry from the Knights. Mooney gets to the 10, tackled by Carrick, and plays the ball to Sharp. Given on to Marju, who was the man that ran over the top of Reynolds and knocked him out of the game. Marju plays at 15 from the southern end. Now Mooney blind side, runs straight into Jaden Hunt, who makes the tackle in company with Semu. Play to Crossland, passes back to right and centre field through the hands here. Croker to Smith on to Ponga, who stepped past Jaden Hunt, got ankle tapped by Pakes and finished off by Mam. He was almost just into the backfield. Ponga. Boy, oh boy, this is looking ominous for the Broncos and very, very good for Newcastle. McEwen up to halfway. Tackled. Crossland passes blind on the last, and Smith puts a kick downfield. It's a bomb, which is caught by Walsh on his own 20, but immediately met by the tackle of Croker. And the Broncos will start their set on their own 20. Carapani receives, runs infield, and runs into three defenders. He's pushed back 5 and 6 metres. Well, their scoreline's one thing, the injuries are another, but the enthusiasm, that's the third part of what's going on here for the Knights. They're right up for it.
It's stunning. It's great to see the boys from the 100 have turned up to play. Where they are on the NRL ladder is not a fluke. That Holbrook has got them firing.
Pakes a dummy half, passes infield to Ben Hunt, gives it on to Walsh, passes to Mam. Mam floats the ball to the left edge. Carapani's got space to run down the eastern touchline. Over halfway, defence come. He changes position, shifts and runs infield. It runs into the tackle of Crossland, who puts him down. But that was a good run from Carapani. Brisbane 35 out. Pass to right and centre field for Walsh. He kicks for Anderson's wing. Anderson flies. One-on-one jumping and catching battle there with Marju. And it was knocked on by Anderson. Both of them had a piece of that. Good contest. That's what the rules have been designed to show over these years. That was a great winger-on-winger contest for the ball.
Both had eyes for the ball, you're right, Q, and in the end, that's what Dom Young is very good at, one to the air.
And the Knights survive. 10-0 the scoreline as Bradman Best runs over the 20-metre line. He went all right the last time he played here, didn't he, Bradman? I don't know, Billy, do you remember that game?
Yeah, I can't remember what the game was, but I'm pretty sure he had a good game.
Hopwood rolls forward. He's 15 from halfway. As to the right now, Smith gives to Ponga. Beautiful pass, sends Young down the wing. Up to the 40. Passes infield to Smith. Gathers it on, and it's a forward pass.
I thought he was going to put it on the toe there.
Well, I had my eye on the referee, Grant Atkins there, who I think he said that was backwards out of the hand and floated forward, but then he took the advice of his touch judge to call it forward.
All the exact same thing.
Yeah.
I moved on and I thought, well, that's going to be good. Sean Smith will play the ball, but the referee decided differently after the advice from the touchy. You're right.
Finally, some good news for the Broncos, guys. I just spoke to Troy Thompson again. He's a busy man. It was a cut to the quad for Willison. They're getting that gash cleaned, and they expect him to come back.
So, as they say in the classics, just a flesh wound. So hopefully for the Broncos that gets sealed up properly and he'll be able to get back out there. 27 minutes remaining in this first half. It's all Newcastle so far, 10-0 to the Knights. Carrigan's got the ball for Brisbane and he's tackled, still 15 metres his own side of halfway. Takes it, distributor, passes left in centre field. Ben Hunt given on to Haas. Right knee strap, tweaked his shoulder in the warm-up. The big pain. Still needs 5 men to put him down.
They just went bees to a honeypot. They can't do him.
5 from halfway, blindside, give it a man. Runs the ball, short ball there onto Jaden Hunt, but he's tackled.
Good D.
And put down 35 from the Knights line. Back to right and centre field. It's in the hands of Ben Hunt. Flat ball onto Semu. Well met, though, by the defence of McEwen. One-on-one contact. Gets help from Croker to finish him off. And now it's last play Brisbane. They're 30 metres out. Reece Walsh puts up a left foot bomb. It'll come down a metre from the goal line. Ponga leaps. Has it touched away from him by Anderson, who's down and hurt. He might have done a finger or a wrist in that. It's a penalty going to the Knights. I think, was there a Bronco in an offside position? Now Grant Anderson's flexing his right forearm, Zane.
Yeah, is it his bicep? Or it might be elbow. Has he hyperextended his elbow when he's come down from trying to take the kick? Let's have a look. Yeah, that's what's happened, Q-Man. He's put his hand down, he's hyperextended his elbow, so that's not good for the former Melbourne Storm heading off to the Warriors player either.
So the penalty's because he didn't try to catch it.
Right, he just tried to tap it, not try and catch it. Okay, thanks, Billy. So the Knights don't gain much on that kick downfield, and there's some good defence. Ben Hunt was there helping out with Tony Staggs. They got under the ribs of Manoleleu and drove him back and almost over the touchline. Now Best runs infield for Newcastle, taken on the 30. 10-0 to the Knights, early stages at Lang Park, NRL Saturday on ABC Sport. Right side shift, Ponga onto Gagai to Young, burns Carapani down the wing, comes to Walsh. Walsh makes the tackle, but only 30 metres from the Broncos line. Young is having a field day out there so far. Back to left and centre field. Smith to Crossland, given to Ponga. Across the 30 they go. Sharp to Best. Best takes on the line, but Staggs brings him down. 1-on-1. Bradman best to play at 15 from the goal line. Marju passes infield to Sharp, given a crossland, running laterally across to 20, gives to Smith. Dummy straighten. Jaden Hunt takes him down from behind, makes the tackle. Last play, Knights 11 metres out. Ball played to crossland, given to Ponga. Grubber for the in-goal area is too hot. It's gone dead. Out to the 20 for a 7-tackle set and a 20-metre restart for the Broncos. Don't they need it? 15 minutes played, 2 tries to 0 to the Knights. They lead at 10 points to 0. Quentin Hull, Billy Moore and Zane Bojack with you for NRL Saturday on ABC Sport.
What a beautiful sort of 6 attack there by the Knights. Both down their left and right hand sides, they're spreading the ball. Ponga is having a field day, carving up the Bronx.
Carrigan's got it for Brisbane, taken 5 from halfway. G'day to Glenn from Corindai. Listen to you online every game, even when with the TV sound off. Great commentary. Night starting well. Thank you, Glenn. Yeah, you can try ABC Listen and wrap it now. Syncs up pretty well with the TV. 0467920222 if you want to get in touch. Now Haas takes the Bronx to within 32 of the line. Given to Ben Hunt, end of set, blindside. He bombs for that. Attacking right corner again. It's Anderson with Ponga. Anderson doesn't jump this time. Ponga does and catches it and diffuses the bomb. And the Newcastle captain plays it 5 from his own line. Callan Ponga, just his 11th game of the season. He only played 13 last year. We know injury has been a big part of his story of recent times. Hold down. Or was there a crusher there?
Hold down, mate.
Hold down against Carrigan. Penalty.
Bad penalty because they just...
Penalty Knights.
They get it, starting to get a little bit of an arm wrestle, but now they'll give the piggyback for the Knights out of their 10-metre area, and their attack is brilliant down both sides of the field, saying they've got to strike everywhere.
Well, you know where they're making the inroads. It's not just the Knights forwards through the middle. It's both Sandon, Smith and Fletcher Sharp. They are making their runs, which is making the defensive line just stand off them a little bit, gives them more space on the outside.
So Knights take the kick downfield. Best tackled first play, still 10 inside his own half. Now Cody Hopwood runs his field. Stop 5 from halfway. Plays the ball to Crossland. Give it to the right. Smith to Ponga. Why not go right again? Here goes Gagai over halfway. Flick past to Young. Up to the 30. Taken down by the tackle of Karapani. They are gaining metres at will on that far touchline. Back to left and centre field. Smith to Crossland. Crossland to Ponga. Ponga holds it and got tackled and lost it forward. The Bronx have got it. Was a Staggs picked it up and he gives an offload to Walsh on the counter-attack. Walsh's flick pass was at the knees of Anderson and he's dropped it. Did they go over the advantage line? I'd say so.
You'd have to think so, I reckon, by the referee's actions. You're right.
And I'd say that this will be a Knights ball, even though it was off a Newcastle original infraction.
And duet fraction, if Ponga had given the ball either on the inside runner or been able to pass it out, they had an overlap, the Bronx, but that's the game. It's a game of fractions of seconds and inches, and that was a pretty silly pass.
10-0 Knights here. Half-time in the AFL. The Giants have got to the lead over Port by 2 points. First quarter, Brisbane 3-3-21, lead Carlton 3-1-19. So the Lions in action tonight at Docklands. If you want to hear that on analogue radio around Brisbane, 936 on the AM dials where you can hear it. Or, of course, the red and blue button on ABC Listen. We will keep you up to date here. Boy, hasn't the story of the reigning premiers of Titletown been very different in 2026?
Oh, definitely.
One's floundering at the bottom of the ladder. We're watching them at the moment. And the other primed to go back to back to back. Anyway, here's Smith for the Knights. Gives it to Sharp, 25 metres out. Sharp runs into the tackle of Carrigan and a couple of others. And they stop the first try scorer. 25 from the Broncos line. Crossland at dummy half. Gives it to Mooney. On to Croker. Matt Croker well met. That's a good one-on-one tackle under the ribs. Executed by Jaden Hunt. Played to Crossland. Ponga says, give it to me left. And he runs at the line. Pops it up to Sharp. Sharp runs back right. Running laterally. Now Grubbers for the in-goal area. Karapani's there for the Broncos. Gagai's chasing him, but Karapani gets back into the field of play before being tackled by Dom Young, and the Broncos survive, and they've got it 10 from their own line. 10-0 Newcastle, repeating if you've just tuned in. Adam Reynolds knocked out of the game. He was steamrolled by a run from Greg Marju. Failed the head injury assessment. It's Cat 1 as well. Out of the game, and out of next week's Battle of Brisbane. So Ben Hunt out there running the ship as the Bronx direct it right. Space for Staggs down the western touchline. Gets to halfway. Best there to make the tackle. And already, Staggs v Best is worth the admission alone. They've had a couple of good ones. 40 metres out the Broncos. Back to left and centre field. Carrigan to Mam. Cuts it out towards the edge. Mariner slips over trying to step in field and gets jumped on 33 metres from the goal line by the tackle of McEwen. Played to Pace, passes right in centre field for Walsh. Kicks high for the right wing of Anderson. Was basically right on the touchline, so he couldn't catch it or he would have been bundled out. He tried to trap it with his boot. It's gone out anyway, and not a well-directed kick from Reece Walsh at the end of that set.
The last two sets by both sides had poor kicks. That was a bit of a shocker from Walsh, and the play, but the set before Sharp pulled the trigger a little bit early in the tackle count. It wasn't a very polished finish, but at the moment the Knights are putting themselves in a much better attacking position than the Broncos.
Newcastle 25 from their own line. Big Daddy from Coffs Harbour on the text says, loving the call. I think Adam Reynolds should have retired last year. He's getting too many injuries this year. Well, his 5th year as a Bronco, yep, and now he won't play next week. Good day to Graham from Taree. Go Knights, how lucky are we to have the best game in the world? Good on you, Graham. Newcastle through the hands of Sharp to Ponga, gives it to the left edge for Best, who was flat-footed and tackled immediately by Anderson. Well read there defensively by the Warriors-bound Grant Anderson. Knights played on halfway, given the blind flight for Sharp. There was a bit of a muck up there. Ponga got taken out without the ball by Staggs. Yeah. Penalty Knights. Yeah,
it was a good shot by Staggs. The problem is Ponga didn't have the ball, and now they're going to go deep on attack here. They'll get the penalty at 41 out due, so they'll be inside the 20-metre line. Can the Broncos' defensive line hold up?
Sanders Smith kicks for and finds touch 28 metres out.
I find that sometimes Ponga touches the ball a little bit too often. You just got to let the halves, Sharp and Smith, their own time as well.
Obviously working all that out now with Dylan Brown gone for the rest of the year, and what a blow for the Rugby League World Cup as well, with Dylan Brown, who would have been such a key for New Zealand, and still concerns over the fitness of Jerome Hughes. Hopefully the Kiwis, they'll find someone to do the job. I don't know whether they're going to bring Kieran Foran back like they did last year. Here goes Croker running forward for the Knights, and he's taken only 11 metres from the goal line. 10-0 Newcastle, 18 minutes left in the first half. Knights on the attack again. Crossland right, Smith, the second man, Ponga gives it to Young. Inside ball to Gagai, took a Broncos touch, cleaned up by Ponga, should be 6 more, and is. Ponga gives it to Smith, buzzing around in a phone booth, gives it to Crossland. They're all just standing saying, yep, ball's still live, what's going to happen? Fletcher Sharp says, I'll run straight, and he gets taken by a 3-man Bronco tackle, just to the right of the uprights, 2 metres out. Crossland left, given to Mooney, who runs at Haas. Big Payne does enough to stop him with help from Semu, and Mooney will play it a metre from the goal line, a metre left of the uprights. Now to the left, it's given to Smith, beats the inside run of Best, runs it. Walsh gets through Walsh, but is tackled by the second wave of defence. Jordan Ricky makes the tackle. Newcastle already lead 10-0. Sniffing more points here at the northern end. Shout to Ponga, nailed by Mam in a bell ringer. And Mam jumped over him too, just to put the mayo on it. Good tackle. Ponga gets up. Play to Crossland, given right to McEwen. He's tackled on a 1-man run. Only 6 metres out, 12 in from touch on the right. Knights, back-to-back sets on the Broncos line, given to Smith centre field. Now on to Mooney, hit and spin back to Smith. Now to Ponga. Ponga's cut out to the left edge for Marju. Has to come in field defensive. Marju beats 2 on the inside line before being stopped only a metre out. Last play, Newcastle. Crossland passes right for Smith. Smith kicks for Young's wing. The flying dreadlocks, they're over his head. Oh, it bounced near the touchline and stays in. Karabani had to play at it, and Gagai runs him dead. Goal line dropout.
What a kick by Smith. It was a brilliant kick which brought the contest on. It wasn't quite able to jump. Dom Young would have liked to have got a bit more in the air, but they got the benefit of getting the ball back now, and in the passenger play you call it. What a shot, Ezra Mam on Ponga. Great shot.
Pat Carrigan's having a chat to referee Atkins here.
Well, he's the skipper now, Q.
Not a question. We'll be better at it. Go on. Coach, I've told you now.
That's good professional play too, Bill. Just slow and play down for the Broncos. Give them a bit of extra breath.
Yep, they were definitely against the ropes.
Walsh tries the short drop out, and it pitches 9 metres. Well, that was played out by Anderson inside the 10. That is a penalty. It only pitched 9 metres from the goal line. Anderson played at the ball before it had crossed the 10-metre line, and the Knights might as well take the 2 points here. It'll be straight in front for 12-0.
Yeah, I'll be surprised if they don't. That's a good field position, but I reckon they'll take the 2 points.
And this is where I think discretion is the better part of they're going to go. I reckon they'll probably score because they've had momentum. But, you've got to take 12-0, don't you? No, they don't. They're not taking the 2. The Knights are going to run it. Let's see if they've made the right choice. As Hopwood's tackled. Now to the right. Smith gives it. No, he holds it. And Smith is tackled. So 12-0 was there for them. It remains 10-0, but the Knights on the attack, looking for the 6 rather than the 2. Mooney on the straightening run. Taken underneath the black dot, only 3 metres from the goal line by Tulty. To the right cross lane, gives to Smith. Ponga catch and give to Young. Forward. Great rushing defence on the left edge from the Broncos. So the Knights do flush the hold on. There's a bit of a stoush.
Dom Young
Out there.
must be Carapani.
Oh, and here comes McEwen to pull Carapani away. Croker's in there. There's more Broncos than Knights in that.
Dom Young wasn't happy with the way it all finished up.
Usually I'd say ringside, Zano, but it's not your ringside, is it? It's a far touchline.
Yeah, it's over on that eastern side.
Carapani's involved.
Yeah.
You know what? This actually favours the Broncos. The Knights have got them on the absolute tilt here, and you can see there's some treatment going on there as well. There's a bit of blood out there for the Broncos.
Jaden Hunt's got a cut on his cheek.
Yeah, on his left cheek, and the claret was pouring out, Q. So you're just watching the replay here now. Young got pushed over the sideline. Ezra stepping over him, and then...
Oh, did Dom Young put his arms between the legs of Ezra then to trip him up?
I think he tripped him over, and that's what stemmed it all.
Right. So let's hear Callan Ponga's being called over here, the captain of the Knights. And McEwen's in there as well. Maybe because he was the third man in.
Yes.
So are they going to give McEwen the marching orders here for third man in?
I reckon they might.
Yep.
Right. These two guys here, right? Just wrestled. You were over here with me. You had nothing to do with it. Go to the bin.
And McEwen goes to the bin for third man into the scuffle. Did we really need that?
Stay there. Next one.
Will that happen? Will, hold on. They might have a square up here. We might be 12 on 12.
Taylor, back you go. Henry's against you.
Now Reece Walsh is called over. Well, if McEwen's gone, they're calling over Walsh. She'll go too here. He goes to the bin as well. So Rep Atkins has had enough and thought, if you guys are going to muck around, I'll send one off each.
Yep.
Make it 12 each.
Which one's more important to either team, though?
You say Walsh for sure, but McEwen's not a bad edge back row, but right now there seems to be no real punch in this Broncos team unless Walsh is doing something, and he can't do much from the pine, but for the...
So McEwen to the bin, Walsh to the bin with 15 minutes left in the half, and as it turned out...
There's a hair pull.
That's
Ezra man, is Ezra man? No, Walsh pulled his hair. Yeah, get
pulls
off.
the hair of Dom Young.
Yeah, get off.
Yeah. I haven't experienced that for a long time, Billy.
No.
But I remember it was painful, wasn't it? If you got your hair pulled?
Yes, that's right.
10-0 Newcastle. Quentin Hull, Billy Moore and Zane Bojack. Like the gear steward from Kalinga, he always gives us some good lines. He remembers, it's the Hollywood combo tonight. It's Billy and Zane as there's a line break for Ben Hunt up to halfway. Ran out of gas, passes to Carrigan, and Carrigan's tackled 40 metres out, so the Broncos get on the attack. Pass right from Pakes to Ben Hunt, given to Mam, who runs into the tackle of Crossland and Mooney. And they put down Mam, 15 in from touch on the right, 26 metres from the Knights line. Broncos looking to get on the board, 10-0 Newcastle. Haas rolls forward up to the 20, goes to deck, gets to his feet, plays it quickly. Pakes dummies infield and then passes to the blind for Mam. Grubbers for the in-goal area. Ponga's there to bat it dead. Under the pressure from Jordan Ricky. Goal line dropout coming up.
Tell you what, you notice the 1-2, the best 1-2 punch in the rugby league for the last 2, 3, 4 years has been Carrigan and Haas. You haven't seen that tonight. And these young forwards for the Knights, gee, they're holding up well.
Looks like Anderson's gone back to fullback for the Broncos, guys.
So 12 on 12, and Ponga, I think he's setting up for the short dropout. Yep. Kicks Takes it to the Newcastle right side. 12 metres on the fly. Caught by Carapani. He's tackled and Brisbane's got it 9 metres out. Young was going through for the Knights but couldn't get to it. So Jaden Hunt straightens up. Brisbane's best chance to get on the board here. Hunt's tackled. 10 to the left of the uprights. 5 out. Pakes back to the right. Gives it to Mam. Mam on to Ben Hunt. On to Carrigan. 3 stop him on a hard running line towards the southern in goal. 2 metres out. Played to Pakes. He chucks it back left. Ben Hunt on to Haas on the edge. Dragged down from behind by Crossland. Quick play the ball. Pakes back to right and open side to Tulsi. Brilliant rip. Rattling hit. Forces a mistake. I think it was Manaleleua who got underneath the ribs and absolutely drilled Van Tulti. That is textbook stuff, and Tulti loses the ball.
That is as good a tackle as you'll see in rugby league. It's Trevor Gilmeister-esque. What a tackle. The edge back row for the Knights. Great work. It was a good set of 6 defensively. They put up some great tackles. One was on Payne Haas running hard. So well done, the young Knights team.
Great defence, and the Knights now have the ball off the scrum, win a dozen from their own line. 12 minutes, speaking of a dozen, 12 minutes left in this first half. Newcastle lead 10-0 with tries to Sharp and Young, with Smith converting 1 from 2. Best gets to the 20, plays the ball to Sharp, now given to Tyson Frizzell. We still don't know whether there's a future for Tyson Frizzell beyond this season. The veteran plays the ball, 30 from his own line. By the way, he'll play his 300th game next week, Tyson Frizzell, if he fronts up against the Raiders. What a career it's been. Off to the right, Smith feeds the inside line of Gagai running laterally. Speaking of 300 gamers, up to 333 for Dane Gagai tonight as he's tackled on halfway. That's 5. Last play, Knights. Sharp puts it to his right boot, kicks it downfield. It's taken by Anderson, who is deputising at fullback with Walsh in the bin, and Anderson stopped by 3 Newcastle defenders, 15 from the northern in-goal area.
Another 6 minutes for those players come back off the bench queue.
Still 12 on 12 as Carapani tackled 20 from his own line, and the penalty goes to Brisbane, and this will help them get downfield.
They've created a little bit more momentum, a bit of field position, the Broncos the last 10. They were outclassed in the first 20 minutes, but they've fought their way back. Be very handy for them in the contest if they can get some points before half time.
0467 920 222, the number to get in touch. NRL Saturday on ABC Sports. Warriors 42-6 at Rabina earlier today. If you missed the score in Mudgee, no miracles this time, just a Penrith domination. Raiders beaten 42-18 by the Panthers.
That's the end of their season.
Pretty much. Loose ball here. Jaden Hunt had a reef from him 2-on-1. So there's another penalty to Brisbane. The Knights are inviting the Broncos down the attacking end here.
They certainly are. This is about Ben Hunt here. Ben Hunt, if he can create something with Ezra Mann, especially Ezra Mann down the short side, down the left-hand side of the Broncos attacking machine. That's where he's lethal. If they go to the middle and go back down his way, they might be able to find a hole around Gagai.
Well, Newcastle's owned the first half hour, but are only 10-0 in front. Here's the Broncos' chance to get back into it. Haas on the straightening run, off the kick downfield. Payne's tackled and the Bronx are 20 metres out. Pakes a dummy half. Passes left to Jaden Hunt. Tackled low by Croker and up top by Ponga. Will play it a dozen metres out left edge. Go blind, they say. Mam has a run at the line and he's taken down by the tackle of Smith and Ponga. Only a couple of metres out. Late to Pakes. Reaps it right in centre field for Ben Hunt. Given on to Haas. Haas stands with 3 around him, but stopped 7 metres from the goal line, pretty much central field. Pakes directs it right for Ben Hunt. Passes to Anderson. Oh, he'd run the instruction line, was going into the in goal, but then the penalty goes to the Knights. That was bizarre. Anderson had a path into the in goal with no one around him because he'd run behind one of his teammates, and he got to the goal line and then tried not to give the penalty away by stopping, but the horse, or the Bronco, had bolted.
Yeah, Pat Carrigan had his hand up saying, "Not me, ref, not me." Can you imagine? Ben Hunt's not supposed to be out there. He's playing halfback. Anderson's not supposed to be playing fullback. And you had a very very, let's just say, uncohesive backline there, Q-Man.
Zane Bojack down on the touchline. I'm Quentin Hull next to Billy Moore up in the box here at Lang Park, as there's a crusher tackle here which will give the Knights a free trip downfield. I think it was Jordan Ricky, the offender.
Yeah, that crusher tackle. Sanders Smith put the ball in the touch. The Bronx look back on that opportunity of the disappointing outcome. The way you described it, Q, is comical seeing Anderson walk back away from the try line and say, please let me play the ball, but the referee couldn't. Now let's see the 46 out. Can the Knights take advantage?
Well, there's still 3 minutes of the 12-on-12 with both Walsh and McEwen in the bin. 8 minutes to the break. Newcastle 10, Brisbane 0. Crossland passes right to Smith, gives it on to Frizzell. Tyson Frizzell, he always wears those black boots, very distinctive. He's tackled 35 out, played to Crossland, given to Croker, to the left for Sharp. Now feeds it on the inside line as Marzu bounced away from Carrigan first time before Toddy took him down and Carrigan finished him off. Played on the 20, Crossland right through, Croker to Smith to Ponga. Watch out, right edge again, given to Gagai this time. They've worked it out there now. Mam and also Mariner, they make the tackle. Carapani's been out there. They've been peppering that defensive left side. Knights are 10 from the goal line. Shifted back left and centre field. Crossland's got it. Decides to pop it up to Lachlan Crouch, who's out there. Kept it alive to the left. Big ball to the wing. And Marju's in a panic. Manu Leilaiua with the money ball at the end. And Greg Marju scores for Newcastle 14, Brisbane 0. Kick to come.
Manu Leilaiua, wow. What a performance this left edge back rower. Defensively, he's been brilliant. Attacking-wise, he's been lethal. And that offload there, they created some overlap. They got a second phase offload by one of the middle forwards.
Yeah, that was Crouch who just got onto the field.
And then we see an amazing double cut-out pass by the edge back rower. It was touched in flight by the Broncos as well, but that didn't matter in the end. And they finally capitalised on some really good field position. And now that's a healthy lead, which to me starts to reflect how much they've dominated this first half.
Oh, had visions of a left side second rower playing for the North Sydney Bears, throwing a beautiful cut-out pass there. What about that? That's magnificent work there by Francis Van Leilaiua. Unbelievable. And of course, Marzu now goes back ahead of Young, doesn't he? He goes to 18 tries and Dom Young stuck on 17.
Thanks for the rap. One thing I can say, it wouldn't have been me because I wouldn't have passed.
Greg Marzu, fourth year at the Knights after, of course, he started at Parramatta, couldn't get a first grade game there, and then went to the Titans.
He's been for quite a while,
yeah, but seems to have really found his home in the Hunter.
But it's a powerful back fight. They've got, look at Dom Young and Marzu on the wings. They are hard to bring down.
Sandon Smith 5 in from touch on the left, 23 metres out. To make it 16-0 Knights. Trying to break a 3-game losing skid here. The Wooden Spooners of last year. It's out to the right. Oh, it hits the upright. It was bending back, but hits the far upright and bounces away. So Smith is only 1 from 3 off the boot. Newcastle remain 14-0 in front. 5 minutes 43 seconds remaining in the first half. Let's get around the grounds. Half-time in Adelaide. In fact, they've just started the third quarter. Giants lead Port by 8 points. Greater Western Sydney 7-6-48 to Port 6-4-40. Quarter time at Docklands, and the Blues lead the Lions by 4 points. Carlton 6-3-39 to the Lions 5-5-35. Calls available on the red and blue buttons on ABC Listen as Ben Hunt kicks off, taken by Fletcher Sharp on the goal line, and it's trucked forward for the Knights up to the 10-metre line, and the bench forward starting to come into the game. So that was young Lachlan Crouch in just his 4th game, so he's been activated. Frizzell's been activated.
It's a big lad.
And they've still got, as I said, the experience. Like Thomas Cant and Brodie Jones have played a bit of footy now as well.
What a run there by Dane Gagai, pushing them off. He's 34 years of age, and he's got 95 tackle breaks coming into this game. Top 5 in the league. No wonder the Broncos signed him.
As Croker Broncos tackled now away from halfway, given to the left, Sharp onto Manoleleua. Now, a Kiwi born, I don't think he's played Test footy. They'll be looking out for him, I think, come World Cup time. He's tackled. Smith kicks downfield at the end of the set. It's caught. Anderson had it, fumbled it, caught it just. He had a look. And it nearly cost him. And luckily, he caught it before Marju and Best could rattle him. Broncos have got the ball. 4.5 to the break, and they need the break. Repeating, Adam Reynolds is out of the game. If you're wondering why the captain hasn't been called, because he's not playing after he got steamrolled by a Marju tackle early in the game. Head injury assessment, Cat 1. Out of game, out of Battle of Brisbane next week as well, the skipper. Left edge, here's Ezra Mann for Brisbane. 15 in from the eastern touchline, 18 from halfway, went tackle. Played to Pace, given to Karapani, straightens into the defence, stopped on the red stripe of the 40 at the northern end. Rev Atkins says 5. Last play here for Brisbane, it's a Ben Hunt kick downfield. It's a bit of a tumbler, which will pitch on the 20. Kind bounce as it's taken by Ponga on the 10. He now skips and weaves and runs into Haas among others and has tackled 20 from the southern end. 4 minutes to the break. Knights leading 14-0 NRL Saturday on ABC Sport. Dom Young down the middle third up to the 30. Yes, son.
We're back 13 on 13. Q Walsh back out there, McEwen as well. So they'll finish the... there's a knock on.
That was... I think McEwen was trying to grab it after he dropped it. He's lost the ball. The Knights have turned it over and the Broncos come up with it. Jayden Hunt's tackled 35 metres out. So here's the chance for the Broncos just before half-time. Full complement out there for both teams. Walsh on a blindside dart, stopped 25 out. Given one man infield for Tolte. And Ben Tolte put on his back 19 metres from the Newcastle line, slightly left side. Pass right and open side from Carrigan. On to Ben Hunt, given a Mam. Taken by the shifting defensive Sharp and also Best. 18 from touch on the right, 10 metres out. Anderson distributes left and centre field through Ben Hunt. On to Carrigan, gives it to Walsh. Walsh second man to the edge for Mariner. Draws and passes, but Karapani knocks it on and over the touchline. With the line beckoning, he was about 8 metres out. He had work to do, but the rest of the story of no consequence if you can't hold onto the football, which he could not.
I thought they created the space there. Walsh took the ball of the line and Mariner gets on the outside of Gagai, but the pass just wasn't the right place for Karapani. You're right, had he caught it, he still had Dom Young bearing down on him, so he had a lot of work to do, but in the end it didn't really matter because he didn't catch the ball.
Sean on the text says, no offence, Billy, but my dad used to call you Billy No Pass. Got a few more texts coming your way. 0467 920 222.
A couple of years.
Yeah. It's 2 minutes to the break here. Tyson Brazil tackle. 3 tries to 0 in favour of the Knights, 14-0. 15 their own side of halfway, and here goes Crouch. Taken centre third and 8 inside Newcastle territory on this fine Saturday night. The horses' birthday here. Happy birthday to the horses. August. So the Broncos should be going well tonight.
Well, it's poignant.
They're another year older today. Kicked outfield from Smith at the end of the set from halfway. Walsh is back out there. Tracks to his right to catch it. 12 from the line. He's defending. A zipping, weaving run in field. He got his ankle taken, but offloads to Ben Hunt. Hunt is without momentum, though, and caught 25 metres from that southern end. 78 seconds for the Broncos to try and get on the scoreboard here in this first half. Only 6 wins for the year for the defending premiers. The Knights, wooden spooners last year. Talk of it. Tale of 2 stories, and how the story's been flipped. Well, look at these 2. Know how a year can change things in footy. Preston Ricky stopped inside his own half. Now Bronx to the left. Carrigan to Walsh. Passes on to Mariner. Gagai's got him from behind, and he uses his collar to drag him to the touchline. And the referee decides to give a penalty because the tackle was complete and Gagai kept dragging him. I don't know whether that was the call.
Well, the momentum was still there. To me, the play hadn't finished. He wasn't dragging him after he'd stopped moving, so he pulled the trigger pretty early because he passed the ball back.
Could someone get Gordon Tallis and Brett Hodgson on the line, please?
They need to find exactly what a drag is, but to me, he's pulled it early. Let's see whether he gets the points over the Broncos.
Ben Hunt, flat ball onto Preston Ricky. Tackle 28 metres out. So the Broncos have got maybe 2 plays to score. 15 seconds left. Their centre field 25 out. Oh, Carrigan has it knocked out of his hands by another great defence. defensive play. Francis Manaleleua, he has had a huge half.
Sensational half.
Knock on Carrigan. They won't get the scrum away. And we go to the break at the Cauldron with Newcastle well placed to break its 3-game losing streak. The Knights have scored 3 tries to 0 in the first half. Newcastle 14, Brisbane 0, Sharp on 4 minutes, Young on 8 minutes, and Marju 5 minutes from the break when the tries have been scored. Only 1 from 3 though for Sandon Smith, who's kicking instead of Callan Ponga, who's just fresh back from a quad injury. And repeating, Adam Reynolds only played, how long was it? Maybe half a dozen minutes? Not quite sure when he went off, but it was early in the game. Head injury assessment, category 1, not playing for the rest of the game and won't play against the Dolphins next week. Billy Moore's been watching with me. 14-0 Knights at the break.
14-0 probably reflects, might even undersell how good the Knights have played for a large portion of that first half. 3 tries at least, that's how much better they are. The thing about this, what is better, Q, is that the 14 the Knights have scored, is that more important than the fact that the Broncos are 0? And that's the worrying thing. Last year they were the second best attack, the Broncos. This year they're the second worst. The Brisbane Broncos, if we can look at the numbers before, they've gone from being the second best attacking side to being a dud, an absolute dud, and we're seeing it again tonight. They've had enough field position to at least cross the line once. There's the donut there, and they're the second worst attack in the comp.
Do you like your 80s movies? Zane, you'll like this one too. You know what we're watching here? We're watching Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd. Remember the movie Trading Places?
Oh, yes. Definitely, yeah.
So this is what we've got tonight, isn't it, Zano?
Absolutely, and Billy's right. The Broncos have scored 64 points since round 15. Their lowest tally in the that's the lowest tally in the competition. The points have just completely gone off for the Broncos. And Q, you used an analogy before about the horse's birthday for the Broncos. I know we talk about the ethical treatment of animals, but you know what we'd be doing if the Broncos were a racehorse right now? Very, very sad their season.
No, you'd be sending them for a spell, that's for sure, and bringing them back in the autumn, hoping that you're scratching. They're not good enough for a spring campaign this year, these horses. Yep. They're going for a long spell in the paddock, coming back in the autumn. Thanks, Zano. Thanks, Billy. 14-0 Knights at half-time. Just got a text here asking about Xavier Wilson. Thanks to Nick and Toowoomba. He had a cut on his leg. I think he's okay to continue. Thank you, Nick. Marie texts, I'm glad I didn't pay to see this game. Good night, A-team. I'm off to bed to read a murder mystery. Much more interesting. Oh, come on, Marie. We'll do our best to keep it interesting. 0467 920 222. Thanks to Bert from Georgetown. I fear the Broncos are about to trip at their most critical hurdle this season. It's imperative they win tonight and from here on. Yeah, well,
I think if they do win every game from here on, they're still going to rely on Lady Luck to help them across the line.
Yeah.
But that's not going to happen. With all due respect,
there's a reason they've only won 6 games.
Yes, and they've got the second worst attack. It's very hard to win when you don't score points.
Earlier tonight in Mudgee, Penrith 42, Canberra 18, after the Warriors beat the Titans 42-6. I hope everyone had fun in Wagga today. Day 2 of NRLW's Magic Round is tomorrow. My old hometown. If I'm not here, I'd want to be at the Equex Centre. I'm a bit jealous of Bridget Murphy and everyone who's down in Wagga today.
What a great celebration for rugby league.
Wests 32 beat the Sharks 20. Roosters 38 beat the Dragons 8. Cowboys 18 beat the Raiders 16. 3 games to come tomorrow. Just before Ned's Commonwealth Games update around the grounds in the AFL. Giants now lead Port by 29 points. That's third quarter. GWS 10-9-69, Port 6-4-40. And the Blues in front of the Lions by 5 points at Dockland, second quarter. Carlton 6-5-41 lead the Premiers 5-6-36. News not far away, but before we get there, g'day Ned Hall. Commonwealth Games update as we get to the back end of Glasgow 2026.
Good evening, Q. And we'll start with the athletics this evening because there's been another podium sweep by Australia in the women's 10K walk. Jemima Montag has picked up her 3rd straight gold medal in the Commonwealth Games and set a personal best along the way. And second on the podium, Elizabeth McMillan. Beck Henderson picked up the bronze, so gold, silver and bronze to Australia in the women's 10K walk. A bronze as well in the 1500 metres in the T53-54 class for Sam Rizzo. And the shot put finals underway with Matthew Shepherd, not too far away from Matt Denny, taking to the arena as well to throw the discus. And the men's 400 metres is up in a bit as well with Tom Reynolds going there. We've also got the 4x100 metre relays to come in a little bit later on as well. In the velodrome, things going very nicely in the sprint for the Australians. Lee Hoffman was the fastest through. He's now through to the quarterfinals there, as is Tate Ryan and Daniel Barber. Kane Perris was second fastest in qualifying for the tandem B sprint. And we've still got the 10K scratch race to come. We're not too far away from going for gold in the boxing too. The men's 55 kilo final, Jai Dixon fighting there. In the 65 kilos, it's Jacob Kassar. And in the 75 kilos, Emma Sue Roundtree will be fighting for gold as well, slightly after 9 o'clock. In the bowls, unfortunately, Australia lost to New Zealand in the men's pairs. Looks like they may not be going through now to the semi-finals of that competition. And in the netball, we found out who Australia will play if they beat Jamaica in the semi-final, which gets underway in about an hour and a half from now. They'll be playing against New Zealand, who earlier on today beat England by 61 goals to 54. Back up to Lang Park, not too far away. It's the Knights leading by 14 points to 0 against the Broncos, and we'll go there after a trip to the ABC newsroom.
ABC News, good evening, I'm Noni Edwards. South Australia's Environment Minister has warned a potential mass casualty event from a deadly bird flu strain signals the virus is spreading quickly through the state. Testing is underway for the H5 strain on scores of dead and sick greater crested terns found on an island off the state's southeast coast. The number of confirmed cases across the country has climbed steadily to 53 since the strain was first detected on mainland Australia in June. South Australia's Environment Minister Emily Burke says it's a concerning trend.
What we are seeing now is just this week particularly is there has been a change in those numbers going from migratory to localised spread and now potentially into large numbers around our coastlines.
Lawyer and land rights activist Noel Pearson has called for remote Indigenous communities to come under the direct jurisdiction of the federal government. Nate Woodall reports from Garma in northeast Arnhem Land.
The Cape York Institute's Noel Pearson has called for the state and territory governments to hand back jurisdiction for remote Indigenous communities to the federal government. Speaking at Garma Festival in northeast Arnhem Land, Mr Pearson said remote Indigenous organisations should receive direct funding from the Commonwealth, with state and territory governments still providing services to these communities.
Our little ones deserve a future in their own land.
It comes after Foreign Affairs Minister Penny Wong spoke this morning about putting Indigenous culture at the heart of foreign policy.
A woman pushing a baby stroller has been struck by a car at Bathurst in the New South Wales Central Tablelands. Police say paramedics treated a 13-month-old baby for head injuries before taking it to Orange Hospital in a stable condition. The woman pushing the stroller escaped injury. A 69-year-old woman who was driving the car is undergoing mandatory testing. Internationally, Britain's Maritime Safety Agency says 2 tankers have been struck off the coast of Oman and Strait of Hormuz, as the US warns of severe reprisals for Iranian strikes in the waterway. More from the BBC's Sasha Schlichter.
In the first incident, a tanker was struck 11 nautical miles off Lima, damaging its engine room and leaving the vessel not under command, as the agency put it. There were no reports of casualties or spillage. The second incident happened 21 miles off Hassab. The master of a tanker reported seeing a large splash and an explosion in close proximity to the vessel. Some ships choose to stay close to the Omani coast as they transit the waterway that has become key to the Iran conflict. Tehran insists all passage should be through its designated corridor.
The mayor of Ukraine's capital, Kiev, says the death toll from the latest Russian ballistic missile attack on the city now stands at 9, with 28 injured. Witnesses reported more than a dozen explosions throughout the city, with a number of people reported trapped in a damaged residential building. Russia has stepped up attacks on the capital in recent months, while Ukraine is short of air defences capable of downing ballistic missiles, which travel at several times the speed of sound. You're up to date now with the very latest from the team at ABC News.
Get ready for a year of Test cricket like you've never heard before.
Hits him hard and high, straight back down the ground for 6.
That's an amazing shot.
12 months, 20 Test matches, New Zealand at home over summer, the 3 most iconic overseas tours, the 150th anniversary Test under lights at the MCG, and it all begins August 13 with Australia versus Bangladesh on ABC Listen.
ABC sports coverage of the 2026 NRL Premiership.
21 metres out, 20 in from touch on the right, back to left and open side, through the hands of Smith, on to Sharp, beats 1, Fletcher Sharp, beats 2, beats 3, and scores! Newcastle strike as Fletcher Sharp, from fullback to the number 6, he beats flimsy Broncos defenders to score the opening try for the Knights after only 3 minutes. Crossland to the right through Smith to Ponga, beats the tackle of 1, passes to the wing for Young, gets through Mam and scores. And the Knights have started brilliantly in Brisbane. And this has got danger signs all over it for the Premiers. Knights are 10 from the goal line, shifted back left and centre field. Crossland's got it, decides to pop it up to Lachlan Crouch, who's out there. Kept it alive to the left, big ball to the wing, and Marju's in a panic. Manu Leilua with the money ball at the end, and Greg Marju scores for Newcastle 14, Brisbane 0.
ABC sports coverage of the 2026 NRL Premiership
On your radio, ABC Sport Digital Radio,
and ABC Listen.
Highlights of the first half of this final game of the triple header Saturday that we're bringing you here on ABC Sports. My name's Quentin Hull. Glad that you could join us to complete your Saturday of footy. Newcastle 14, Brisbane 0. The Knights have lost their last 3. They're still inside the top 8. But boy, wouldn't they love to break those runabouts. And plenty of nervous fans around the Hunter after not only they lost to the Roosters by a point last week, but Dylan Brown and Dylan Lucas out for the rest of the season. But Ponga back tonight, McEwen back tonight, Gagai back tonight, and they played some good footy. As far as the Broncos fans, well, they've had a wretched night, and it continues a wretched season for them, with Adam Reynolds getting injured in that first half, or knocked out of the game, failed a head injury assessment. Cat won as well, so the skipper has played his last battle at Brisbane. He won't be able to front up next week against the Dolphins. At Rabina earlier today, 3 points to Chance Nickel-Kluxter as the Warriors flogged the Titans 42-6. And in Mudgee, 3 points to Isaiah Yeo as Penrith beat Canberra 42 points to 18. I'm calling with Billy Moore and Zane Bojak. Your texts continue to be welcome on 0467 920 222. I better give this one. They're pleading, saying, Q, please give us a shout out. I am not kidding you. It's my birthday and my twin brother's birthday today. This is from Maddie Moo. Oh no, this is from the Gear Steward. And his twin brothers, Maddie, he said, my grandfather was a bookmaker. Matthew was born 5 minutes to midnight and I was born 15 minutes afterwards. However, Mum went for the number 1 August rather than 31st July because of the horse's birthday. Because the family, his grandfather was a bookmaker. That's a good one. Thanks, Gear Steward. 0467 920 222. Righto, Billy. Is there any way back for the Broncos here? It's only 14-0.
That's the one reason there is. The second way is the 1% is the fundamentals. They completed at 68%. That's pretty horrific, up against 82%. The Knights basically ran 2 for 1 metres. They ran for 960 as opposed to 580. So they're basically got to hold the ball. They've got to make better use of what they've got. When those few chances come, they've got to take it. The Knights, as I said, it's impressive the 14, but it's really the 0, sorry. Their defence has really improved in 2026. And they're playing a defensive style and pattern which is worthy of a top 8 finish. And a win tonight, I think, nearly puts them there for certainty.
Yeah, Neville texts, if poor goal kicking costs the Knights another victory this week, Holbrook will explode. It's becoming a real concern. Yeah, good point, Neville. So obviously Kalen Ponga nursing a quad injury, and Sandon Smith's been kicking tonight. He's kicked only 1 from 3. So 18 nil's very different to 14 nil.
Yes, it is. And like one try, all of a sudden, you know, the Broncos can smell something, just crowd a lift and bring him into him. But Ponga, you're better off going, well, mate, we're better off having you on the park than damage you kicking.
You get the points another way from Callan being out there than if he's not. Nick from Gloucester, sitting on the back veranda having a beer listening to you guys. Still over the moon about the Chooks the other night. Good on you, Nick. 0467920222. And there was... where's Riceville? It's Tennessee, apparently. Glenanne housemates, g'day gents, listening in early hours here in Riceville, Tennessee. Go my beloved Knights.
Well done.
Listening probably on the app all the way there in the US of A. Maybe having one of those. They're pretty good at the whiskies in that part of the world, aren't they?
Bourbons, yes. Magnificent.
Okay, Knights kick off among the firework haze. Broncos have got the ball and they're running to the northern end. The Bronx trail 14-0. Ezra Mams tackled. Mid-first set of the second half, just beyond the 20-metre line. Plays the ball to Pace, given left there for Walsh. Runs at the line, passes to the edge, and good run up towards halfway from Jaden Hunt. He loses the ball, but it's a 2-on-1 strip.
Well, that's a good start here by the Broncos. So that shift down their left-hand side will yield some good yards. Walsh getting a bit lippy, which is good because it means he's putting a bit of pride on the line here. But this set of 6, they'll be in the Knights half for all of it. Let's see if they can finally find some points.
Broncos score first here, and it really will lift the venue and perhaps change the contest. So, Zano, we'll just hold on your dressing room report at half-time with that Broncos getting into attack off that penalty. Tulty first carry, 45 out. Jaden Hunt, who made that good run previously, second carry up to the 30. So the Broncos get to within 30 of the try line. The Knights are defending. To the right, Walsh gives on to Ben Hunt, who steps past Crossland. Got an offload away back to Carrigan, who straightens up the attack. Put down by Frizzell. 21 metres out in centre field. Plate to Pakes, given left for Walsh. Stepped off his left, stepped off his right. Ponga takes his right leg off him. So he's tackled and can't move. 10 metres out. Plate to Pakes. Pass right to Carrigan. Given to Haas. Payne Haas is tackled by the defensive Brodie Jones. 5 from the goal line for the Knights. Last play here for Brisbane. Pakes blindside to Ben Hunt. Floats a beautiful forward. Oh, Staggs has gone in untouched. And I was about to describe it as a beautiful pass, but I reckon the ref's got that right. He's called forward pass. Staggs went in untouched, but it was a gridiron pass, not a rugby league pass. It remains 14-0. Zane Bojack with his report from the room.
Yeah, definitely forward that one. Not a bad call there by the referee. For the Broncos, Matt Maguire said, considering all of the sin bins and considering the injuries that we've had to deal with, you guys are going okay. They're only 14 in front. Just try and maintain possession. We can get back into it. As for Newcastle, they said, well, look, you just got a little bit of a lack of cohesiveness inside the attacking 20, but otherwise you've got to maintain your intensity because the Broncos are going to come back at you.
Knights have got it on the 30. Thank you, Zano. No change to the halftime score yet. Lachlan Crouch tackled, 15 from halfway. 14-0 to Newcastle. Now, Frizzell to the left, through Sharp to Ponga. Ponga tackled by Ben Hunt, but got an offload to Best. Best one-on-one reef down by Staggs. I'm loving every minute of that. Best versus Staggs. It's a beauty. Now past infield to Sandon Smith. Last play of the set. Kicks from 45 out. Taken right corner by Walsh. 10 from his own line. Passes infield to Anderson. And Anderson is tackled. A dozen from the southern end. If you're sending us a text, send us your name. Particularly if it's as good as this. I'm driving back from a horrendous Mudgee flogging by the Panthers. Now listening to Billy tell us that the Broncos are the worst attacking team in the competition. Well, second worst, did you say?
Second worst.
What did the Raiders score? 18 today.
That's 18 more than the Broncos.
At the moment, yeah, there were no miracles in Mudgee tonight. Crowds on the back of the ref. Reef Walsh is trying to ref the game. Brent Atkins saying, get up and play it. Trying to get a penalty for a hold down, but not forthcoming. Now Brisbane up to the 30. Now to the right. Carrigan gives it through Ben Hunt to Mam to the edge for Staggs, who runs into Best. And Best gets some help from Sharp.
That international standard, those two, you're right, Q, it's a great battle.
It's fun to watch. Man with a bomb from halfway into the Broncos set. Ponga has to again come forward and slide to his knees. Catches it on his chest, on the ground, sliding into Ricky. I don't know whether that's got longevity, that play, but he's done it a couple of times tonight to defuse the bong. The loose pass infield, taken by Smith, and he's tackled on the 20.
No one else does that. I don't know where he's learnt that technique. To me, it seems so risky, but 2 out of 2 for him tonight.
5 minutes into the second half in perfect Saturday night conditions. Sandon Smith to the right for Newcastle. Passes to Gagai. Steps infield, beat Carapani, but sort of got tripped up a bit. Mariner makes the tackle. 10 from halfway. One man infield to McEwen. And Jermaine McEwen back after a 3-week absence. He's tackled just short of halfway. End of the set. Oh, that didn't work. What was that? A little play there from the Knights. And
Gagai, a little chip kick, backfired. Well read by Ezra Mann.
Yep, and the Broncos have got it 10 from halfway.
There's a bit of spice. It's a good arm wrestle now in this contest. Bronson lifted. The Knights' defence, though, has been impeccable.
And 6 more here for Brisbane on a ruck infringement from the Knights. So a fresh set as Jaden Hunt takes them into attacking territory by a metre or 2. Plays the ball. Carrigan now to the right to Ben Hunt. Given on to Jordan Ricky. 3 tackles around Jordan Ricky. He stopped 36 metres out. They look a bit more organised here, the Broncos. Takes back to the left for Carrigan. At the line, he dummies and straightens, but Frizzell doesn't buy the dummy and makes the tackle. Gets some help and Carrigan stop. Centre field at 25 out. Options left and right for Pakes, who passes right for Ben Hunt. Second man to Walsh to the right. Floating ball to the edge for Anderson. Anderson for the corner. Tackled over the whitewash by Marziu. He was flying to try and plant the ball in the right corner. Grant Anderson, but Greg Marziu up to the task and pushes him beyond the eastern touchline.
In the first half, the Broncos weren't able to defuse a situation exactly like that in that same corner. But Marziu was up to the task. Great pass by Walsh. Great, nearly finished by Anderson. But well done, Marziu, the winger.
Brownie's desperate for me to read out his text. I will, because we need. Has it ever happened before that the 2 grand finalists and the minor premiers haven't made the finals the following season?
I'd say no.
Yeah, it is a good question, Brownie.
Well, 2006, both the Cowboys and the West Tigers didn't make it, but I'll check on the minor premiers.
Yeah, that's a good point, Zano. Thanks, Brownie. Knights have got the ball. 5 from halfway as Crouch gets to his feet to play at the crossland. Passes right for Smith. Runs at the line. Gives to Ponga. Gives to Gagai. Gives to the right edge for Young. Takes on Carapani. Burns him. Passes infield to Ponga. He's got support infield in crossland. Knights score a great try down the right wing.
Well, that's their favourite side. Q, you've called it all night. They've gone down their right-hand side, and it's just a case, too big, too strong, too fast. Ponga is causing them grief. He's peeling the numbers, taking away the defensive players, and then unleashes Dom Young. Big man, he's quick.
And I love the support play.
Yeah.
Young ran out of room. Ponga was marked, but there was an option inside both times. Crossland scores. 18-0 kick to come. Zane Bojack on the touchline.
Well, earlier in the match, Q, you posed the question, with New Zealand starting to run out of halves, what options do they have for the World Cup? Well, firstly, you've got Kalen Ponga and Keanu Kenny who are competing for the one. Maybe one of them, in particular, Kalen Ponga, could go into the halves, or the man who just scored that try, Phoenix Crosland, with Jeremy Marshall-King also available. Maybe you could put Crosland in the 7 or the 6. There's options available. Those 2 lining it up there to put the Knights across the line.
Well, it's a big road back for Brisbane now. 18-0 kick to come, even though there's 32 minutes left in the game. Yes, Phoenix Crossland is, well, a bit like Kalen Ponga, eligible for New Zealand and also eligible for Origin selection with the change of Origin this year.
And you've got Cody Nikarima as well, Q-Man. He's a real option.
Yeah, there's more options than you think. It just shows the depth of New Zealand rugby league.
I'm sure they prefer Hughes and Brown. Of course, Brown's not going to be there. Hughes might be right. But he has had a tough year with injury, the Melbourne halfback. Now, Sandon Smith back to matters at hand. He's kicked 1 from 3. This 15 in from the right, 20 out. Not a tough angle. He strikes it well. He raises the flags. And Newcastle lead Brisbane 20 points to 0 with 32 minutes left in the game. Around the grounds, last quarter, Giants lead Port by 17 points. GWS 10-10-70. Port Adelaide 7-5-53. Carlton lead the Lions 12 12, 678 to 6, 642.
That's a
Hold
bit
the
of turn. We never called how quickly that change, Q. We had a try, great defence by Greg Marzu down the adjacent to the opposite end of the field, and within 6 tackles the Knights went the length of the field. They have plenty more points. Remember last year the Knights couldn't score points, but this year they certainly have found that part of their game under Coach Holbrook.
And Marzu off play 2 from the kickoff up to the 20, Greg Marzu. Broncos have not scored. Broncos, by the way, have won the last 6 games against Newcastle.
Yes.
They've won their last 6.
Do you know the try scorers for the Knights when they last won in round 21, 2021? You've got Barnett coming here, the Broncos. Clifford plays for the Cowboys. Fitzgibbon. You've also got Tualo plays for the Bulldogs, and Pearce Q. None of them are at the Knights anymore.
End of set for Newcastle. Little chip from Ponga from 30 out. Is caught by Walsh, but Best is all over him. And Best makes the one-on-one tackle. There's no running for Reece there. He's top 5 from his own line now. Staggs, he's got it. Oh, got tackled, but offloads to Anderson. Running laterally across the 10 before being tackled. They're trying their level best, the Broncos. But this Knights defence, so well organised. It's Karapani up to the 20. What are they cheering for down there, Zano? Billy Walters is on the field. That's what, you know, when the listeners hear noise, you've got to tell them what it's for. It's because Billy Walters, back at Lang Park for the first time since he did his ACL in the finals last year, but made his comeback in top grade last week. And there's another roar for him as the PA announces. Walters passes, Bronx are on the 40 on the attack, gives to Walsh, now to Tulsi, steps through Smith, taken from behind. They rolled the dice on the last, and it's McEwen who makes the tackle. Hand over, Newcastle ball, and the referee just trying to get everything right. There's a
crouch.
Mooney's going to come back on, and I can tell you that there's talk that Walters going to get another 2 years, Q. I really like Billy Walters. He's a good man, and I think it's a bit of a death knell maybe for Mozart, with Mikowski considered the next man off the rank too when it comes to the hookers.
Yeah, so Billy Walters is out there. We've seen Ben Tolte, we've seen Jaden Hunt and Ben Hunt. So no need for Perham, no need for Shibasaki, for Madge Maguire and the Broncos tonight. Half an hour to go. Knights lead 20-0. They've got the ball. It's Brazil on halfway, passing to Smith. Give it on to McEwen, who straightens, but is taken down by Ricky and also Carrigan.
He's good back row McEwen as well.
Left edge now. Here's Best on Staggs again. And Staggs gets him around the legs. Needed some help, though, out there from Anderson to stop him. Best plays it on the 30. Pass back right to centre field. Ponga floating across the 30. Gives the ball to Smith. Passes to the right edge for Gagai. A little stutter step to try and take on the defence, but Mariner and Karapani put down the veteran. Gagai to play at right edge, 29 out. Play to Young. Passes infield. End of set. Smith is rushed at. Gets away from one. Smith has to run it. Passes to Young on the wing. Kicks infield. It's a bouncing ball, which is brilliantly gathered by Ben Hunt. One-handed, he's tackled. 15 from the southern end. 20-0 Knights with 28 minutes left in the game.
Enterprising play by the Knights. They're asking plenty of questions of the Broncos, and it's exciting to see as they spin the ball wide, the Bronx.
And Staggs takes on Sharp one-on-one, but Sharp makes the tackle. 10 from halfway. Walsh is a dummy half, pushes away from the marker, tries to get away from Best, won't get away from Best. And Walsh is tackled. 5 beyond halfway, attacking side, 5 in from right touch. Now pass back to left and centre field. BJ Semu's back out there for the Broncos, and the young forward tackled 38 from the Knights line. Walters slings the ball to his left. End of set. It's Ben Hunt with the ball, centre of the field. Pumps a high right foot bomb. It's shallow. It's caught by Young of Newcastle. 18 from his own line and immediately tackled. So it was 14-0, 3 tries to nil half time. We've seen 1 try since the break for Nick Crossland scoring. Newcastle trying to end a 3-game losing streak. The Broncos, by the way, their worst ever wins in a season was the COVID-reduced season of 2020, where they finished last and won only 3 games. That was a 20-game season, but in a 24-game season, the next year they won only 7 games. So they're yet to get beyond their worst ever season in a full complement modern era. If you get my comparisons, you sort of got to rule out 2020 a bit.
Yeah,
they only played 20 games.
Up how bad this year.
Yeah, and they were premiers last year. To the left, Ponga with a dummy and straighten. Got tackled, but off offloads to Sharp. He passes to the left edge for Best, steps infield over the 30. Links back up with Sharp. It was forward. Referee Atkins in perfect position, and you hear the quick shrill of the whistle to stop what would have been another Knights try.
But what was a great passage of play. The thing that's got me today, I'm not quite sure the Knights, is it their attack or is it their defence? Which one's better? It shows that they are a complete side. And when you think about the drop-off of the Broncos, remember this Knights team got the spoon.
But they're playing for each other and they're playing confidently.
Yeah, it's great to see.
Every time there's someone there ready for the offload.
And we know they've had a horrific run of injuries in the last week or so, so that has not dinted their performance, and that's a key factor as well. Injuries, yes, come into calculation, but the Knights have overcome that.
Broncos have got the ball through Jaden Hunt. He's still 15 inside his own half. And tackled eventually. Walters is in a distributor. Passes to the right, and down goes Haas, ploughing Main Street with a run of 15, of which the last 5 was post-contact. Right in the middle of the park when he stopped. Walters directs it left shoulder to Semu. Taken up and driven into the deck by the tackle of McEwen, who's made a great return tonight after missing 3 games. Walters dummies and steps, beats the marker. Up to the 20, caught from behind though, Billy. Oh, great defence from behind. Again by McEwen. Played to Carrigan, given right for Walsh. Walsh kicks for the wing, looking for Anderson. He catches, chucks to Staggs. He loses the ball under the tackle of Ponga. Desperate defence from Newcastle again. And the Broncos are denied. And this time it's the skipper of the men from the Hunter leading by example.
That just proves to me what they're doing better. Their defence is better than their attack. Walters carved them up. They basically broke into the backfield. A really good kick put across, but the Knights, Anderson got a ball. It was diffused by some great cover defence by the Knights. Well done, the Nova Castrians.
Billy Moore with you. I'm Quentin Hull. Zane Bojack on the touchline. You're listening to NRL Saturday on ABC Sport. Perfect night for footy. 1st of August. Yeah, it's been pretty cold around southern climes, but just lovely conditions in the Queensland capital as Gagai runs in field. 35 years of age, 333 games. He played 6 games for Brisbane in 2011 when he was basically sacked by Anthony Griffin on disciplinary reasons. Remember that all those years ago for Dane Gagai?
Well,
seems like a footy lifetime ago, doesn't it, Zano? As the kick goes downfield, taken by Walsh on the goal line, gives to Karapani, who skips past one but can't get past. Oh, he does get past Sharp. He's still only 5 from his own line and eventually stopped 10 from his own line.
They just keep turning up though, the Knights, don't they? You skip away from one and someone plugs the hole.
Remember the Dane Gagai story early in his career?
And I was talking to my mother-in-law about it today, Q. Since becoming a father and moving obviously to South and Newcastle, he's become such a mature man. He's one of the nicest humans you'll ever meet, Dane Gagai, and I'm looking forward to him coming back to the Broncos. He's got spiders on him this season, and he's part of the reason for the Newcastle revival as the Broncos got a penalty and they're going to pump it downfield. In answer to that question, yes, the minor premiers and also the grand finalists have missed the finals the next year. It actually happened the year before, 2006 and 2005, when the Bulldogs and the Roosters, they both missed the finals, as well as the next year when the grand finalists missed it in 2006.
There you go, Brownie. Zane, our man, has answered your text. Thank you. Broncos kick downfield off that penalty. They're on the attack, still looking for first points here as Ricky is held up, 20 in from touch on the right, 15 from the Caxton Street in goal. 20-0 to the Knights. Broncos through Walsh to the left, gives to Banhunt, given to Mam, running for that corner but taken down around the ankles by the defence of Smith and Gagai as well. Played to Mariner, he goes himself, but Gagai and Ponga hold him up. Half a metre from the goal line, 10 in from touch on the left. Mam's in a dummy half. Oh, the ball slips out of his hand. Then he kicks it along the ground to Ben Hunt, who dropped it as well. That is a microcosm of the Broncos season.
I reckon the referee said that was such poor play. I'm going to call that a knock-on because I'm not quite sure if there was one there, but yeah, that what was a promising passage of play all fell apart. To me, is there a knock-on here? That's gone backward.
No, and then Ezra Mann passed it into his knee. It went backwards, and then he kicked it backwards, so it was still live. And Ben Hunt tried to pick it up, but knocked it on in trying to pick it up, I think.
That's what it could be based on their replay there, but they've own worst enemies again, the Broncos, and this has been the tale, I think, for the majority of 26. There's reasons why they haven't played well, but ultimately they're their own worst enemies as well because they just haven't played their best footy. They've made too many errors.
And as the Knights feed the scrum and work it out for their own territory, Q, they're expecting 40,000 tonight, 43. In fact, 37,538 is what turned up. I think maybe some Broncos members are voting with their feet.
Yeah, they're thinking Saturday night, we'll stay at home. Fletcher Sharp out of dummy half. Newcastle with the ball on their own 30 as he's tackled. 21 and a half minutes left in the game. Knights lead it 20-0. And again, they plough that middle third, and the run taken this time by young Hopwood. Plays it far from halfway. Now McEwen into the defence, and Jermaine McEwen has stopped. Right on the halfway line. End of set. Smith gives it to the right. It was Crossland, giving it to Smith. Kicks it downfield. Caught by Walsh. Chucks it 20 metres infield. Says Grant Anderson, you can run back at him. And there's 4 Knights defenders around Anderson pushing him back. Great work from Newcastle. Brisbane start this set 10 from their own line. One man to the left and a gain of 5 metres infield from Stagg. Tory's tackle. Plays it to Ben Hunt. Passes to the left for Karapani. Over the 20, Karapani. Speaking of ill discipline, I wonder what would have happened back in 2011 for Karapani, who, by the way, had a big game last week against the Cowboys. Now Billy Walters out of dummy half. He's tackled. Got the offload to Mam. Mam to Carrigan. Carrigan on to Simu, who's tackled 10 from halfway. If you're wondering what I'm referencing, that was a driving misdemeanor, but he had a couple of naughty corner moments this year. Carrigan with an offloader on halfway to Haas, who takes his ball to within 35 of the goal line. Ankle tapped and put down by Sharp. Played to Walsh. Runs out of dummy half. It's the last they run it. Pass to the left edge for Mariner. Over the 20. He slips a tackle. Tries a chip and chase. Took a Knight's touch. Walsh flies through to get the crumbs and score the Broncos' first try of the night. He was quick there, Reece. And the Bronx are on the board. Is this the start of a comeback? There's 20 minutes left in the game. It'll be 20 points to 6 with a conversion attempt from right in front. Reece Walsh, first try of the night, 6 for the season.
Well, that's a really good point, Hugh, because last year it was almost a given that they'd give you 6 stars.
Well, 14 was the magic number, wasn't it?
14-point start, then run you down, but that was a try worth waiting for. There was a lot in it. We saw Mariner puts the ball on the toe, and that was a decisive penalty play because a beautiful bounce up for Reece Walsh, who started having with a beautiful cutout pass down the left-hand attacking side of the Broncos, but he finished it with a great catch of the Mariner kick. Well done, Broncos. This was a given for 2 points. That means they're down by 14. There's still plenty to go. There's still 19 minutes.
There's some nervous rumblings in tummies around the Hunters, I know.
Yeah, well, they lost their last couple of games, only 5 points in it, 2 points, I think, to the Roosters. They went down by only, 1 point to the Roosters. They lost to the Sharks by 2 points. So
Souths by 2,
yeah, they'd be very nervous, I think, as Reece is about to nail this and make it a 14-point ball game. Tell you what, Bradman Best, he's a bit lucky. He put the leg out for a trip. Luckily, Reece dived over it.
Walsh from straight in front, converts his own try. Oh no, he kicked it underneath the crossbar.
What?
He has kicked it underneath the crossbar from 10 metres out.
I reckon it went over just, Q.
They flagged it away.
It's called a call of video referee.
I reckon it just went over the black dot.
Well, the touchies flagged it away. Are they reviewing this?
It's gone over.
Well,
What of it? It was a very low kick. I know that.
Well, I could only call what the official...
It's gone over.
It did. But
yeah, it went over. I thought it went over.
I called converted, and then I had to respond to the flags being waved.
But I thought he did a referee review. It's over. The ball's gone over. Don't stop the fight. It's gone over.
But it was only just.
Doesn't matter, but it has gone over.
To go. And the touch judges, both of them. It wasn't one flag.
Yeah.
Both flags waved it away. That is extraordinary. How one man, let alone two, could stuff that up.
Wow.
Oh, it's happened before.
But
it's involving the Broncos too down in Wollongong. I remember a kick from Rod Wishart missed, and they still put their flags up.
But Reece Walsh didn't complain. I think he thought he missed it.
Imagine the pre-replay era for that. And just as well, I put it in the scrapbook before he even put it on the kicking team.
You're in shock, so was I.
So, contrary to the touch judge's assessment, that is a conversion successful. Knights 20, Broncos 6, and now they've knocked the ball on play 2 or 3 off the restart.
There's the difference, 25 to 26.
It's Mariner with the mistake.
25, they got themselves rolling, that smell blood in the water queue, and then they would know you.
Can I tell you something,
Self-destruct.
It has happened before with the situation like that. In 96, I remember it vividly. It was a semi-final, the Cronulla Sharks versus the Broncos. Willie Kahn had a kick from in front and kicked it under the crossbar. So it has happened before to this Broncos side, but on this occasion, Walsh kicked it.
Oh, the pass up the base of the scrum was a bit loose there from Thomas Cant. Luckily it was held on to, and the Knights do have the ball, so mistake Bronx, and Sharp's now tackled. New set and a wavy fisty as they held on too long there, the Broncos. So 6 more as Mooney goes forward for Newcastle, and 6 or 7 post-contact metres. He'll play the ball 13 metres from the Broncos line. Cant passes left for Croker, gives it on to Hopwood, who's taken down. Only 10 metres out, and a dummy half. Cant gives it on to Ponga, to Smith, to the right edge for Gagai. Runs into Mariner, who makes good first contact. Does enough to make the tackle on the veteran. Gagai plays it to Smith. Passes left and centre field. Ponga running across the 10, now delivers it to the left edge. Sharp onto Best. Best takes on Staggs. He got the pass away to Young, and Young dots down brilliantly next to the corner post. That's a double for Dom Young, and the Knights do make the Broncos pay for that mistake early in the set off the kickoff. Newcastle 24, Brisbane 6, and that's a try. Did I say Young or Marju?
It's Marju.
Oh, it's Marju who scored in the left corner.
Well, that...
Apologies if I got my dreadlocks mixed up. I'm just like the touch judges. We can all have a moment.
Oh, his foot. Oh,
Marju scored it.
He grounds it. His foot must be a millimetre inside the touch line when he jumps. That is sublime. Well, that's my favourite word, 2026 all about being sublime.
Sublime?
That was brilliant work by Best. The way he drew, look at that. Look how close his foot comes. Oh.
Yeah, he planted left. Anderson unable to stop it.
He creates space where he shouldn't be able to, and what he did, he took the ball so deep into the line, then he did a Paul McGregor little flick, Herculean little flick pass out the edge, where it was fantastic work, and that was able to release the winger with just enough space.
How good was that pass? Look, how much does Bradman Best love this ground? The last 2 times he's played here in the New South Wales jersey, he's won deciders, and he's been absolutely instrumental in both of the wins for New South Wales. He loves playing at this ground, and I think he's just sewn up the match for the Newcastle Knights.
So Marju with a double, and Sandon Smith will try and convert from right on the touchline, left wing side, 25 metres out.
I'm watching the touch judges for you, Kim, man.
Well, see, I got my dreads and wingers. Life is about making mistakes. It's about how you respond, Zano. As Smith strikes with his right boot. Now, the flags have waved that away. Zane, is that no goal? Confirmed?
Yeah, I reckon
no goal.
Went inside.
Misses it. He's only 2 from 5, Sandon Smith. So 5 tries to 1 is only, in inverted commas, 24 to 6.
There's a text earlier on pointed out, and in relation to your view as well, that could haunt them in finals football. Yeah. They need to make to shore up their goal kicking.
Well, they need Callum Ponga's leg to be sound.
But the other thing there was, we saw how the Broncos, they brought them themselves.
Yeah.
They knocked the ball on coming out their end. They gave false hope, and then wasn't the Knights. They inflicted the pain themselves. They knocked it on, and then the Knights were good enough to make you pay.
Walsh with the kick-off for the Broncos goes inside the in-goal area, caught by Sharp, and solid kick return from young forward Cody Hopwood, taken on the 10. So around the grounds in the AFL last quarter, Giants lead Port by 2 goals. GWS 10-15-75, lead the Power 9-9-63. Half-time, Carlton with a 3-goal lead over the Lions. The Blues 12-6-79, Brisbane 9-7-61. Wins to Penrith and to the Warriors earlier today. And of course, we'll wrap up everything from Wagga in the NRLW once we get to full time here. 3 games today, 3 games tomorrow in the City of Good Sports as Mooney just steps beyond the mark. You'll play it now. The Knights 15 from halfway. Give it a Croker, who almost got through Payne Haas, who's playing through Payne tonight. No pun intended. He's got his right knee stripped, but he hurt his shoulder in the warm-up as now Smith kicks downfield for Newcastle. Gets it to within 15 of the Broncos line. No movement required for Carapani. He catches it comfortably in the left corner, runs infield and tackle beyond the 20.
Isn't Trey Mooney a much improved player since he's moved from the Raiders?
And can I tell you, Thomas Cairnsey out there, he's playing Booker Q because Phoenix Crosland has done his calf. He's got ice on it and he's had to go off the field.
Another playmaker for Newcastle injured. Thanks, Aino. So Crossland on ice. Not on choice though. Now to the right, the Bronx. Ben Hunt gives to that edge of Staggs on Best. Best got fended away from first time, but he took some momentum off him, and now Staggs has pushed back as Croker and Sharp came in to help make the tackle. Staggs plays it 5 from halfway. Pass left and centre field. Ben Hunt's ball through Jaden Hunt. Out towards Mariners left edge, but Gagai's there in his face to make the tackle on the NRL logo. Brett from Newey says, guys, right wing dreadlocks, left wing cornrows. Yep, thank you. Got it. The difference between Marzu and Young. Kick downfield, caught by Ponga. 15 from his own line, and he's taken 25 metres from the Knights line.
One's an Englishman, the other one's a Kiwi Samoan.
Yeah.
I made the mistake earlier in that night, but you too generous not to pick it up.
Oh, no, you got to own it now. But Callan's got a cramp.
Correct me if I'm wrong, didn't Best replace Staggs in this wild side?
Correct.
So I think tonight Best's won that contest easily.
So Ponga, any time he's in the hands of the trainers, it's a concern, but I think it's only a cramp. I think he's on the pickle juice. Short there. Oh, just right near Ben Hunt making a tackle on Manaleleua, and he locked it on Manaleleua. So, what have we got? 13 minutes left in the game.
Challenge.
Tackle 3, challenge from Newcastle for a lost ball. Francis with the ball.
Tracy from Gimpy texts, Madge cannot say the effort is still there after this pathetic show. Not going to cop it.
Well, what's definitely not there, the process is not being followed. They're making too many errors. They're self-destructing their completion rates. So I can see why disappointed fans. But
he pushes the ball out for deliberate motion. Charges successful.
The last 4 years from the Broncos have been extraordinary. Make the grand final 2023, get Nathan Cleary and go all but win it. Next year, miss the 8, sack the coach, 25 new coach, win the competition. Next year, finish bottom 4 potentially.
Well, and completing at 66%, Jude, you're not going to win a game, especially when you come up against a side like Newcastle, who are confident they're in a groove, they're defending well. You just make it too easy for them just to go through their process, which will mean they will win.
In the next 2 weeks, they play the team currently 5th and the team currently 3rd. I mean, it's not going to get any easier for them.
Dolphins and Warriors, and they'll be packed out both times.
They've got Raiders in Canberra, then they play the Storm and Dogs. They might not win another game.
Sandon Smith on the attack, dummies and straightens, he has support. Oh, McEwen knocks it on. The pass was probably just behind him, or McEwen had overrun the line. I'll go 50-50 there. The young edge row, he just was in front of the line, and the pass was
a good run
behind him.
Sandon Smith lost in the noise of Dylan Brown, wasn't he? He came up from the Roosters. He was going to be well back in their pecking order.
They're going to need all of Sandon Smith's money and more to ensure that Sam Walker stays at the Roosters, which is one of the reasons why they let him go. They've obviously got Savala around the place as well.
Imagine they want
others.
to do the contract negotiations today. If I was Sam Walker's manager, I want to be talking this
Well, our man Chock, I don't know whether Spriggy got anything out of him earlier today.
Then into the left
He won't get 10 years.
of Jermaine, travels forward. Captain Charles in
Not at the Roosters, Zane.
No.
Elsewhere he might.
Yeah, good point, Hugh.
Elsewhere he might.
10-year deals are stupid. That's my point.
Okay.
Dylan Brown's in the first year of a 10-year deal, and unfortunately, what's he going to end up on? Probably about 17 games for his first season, even though I think it was absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, but 5 years is far long enough for all involved, in my opinion. Club and an individual.
Interesting thought. Still got 12 minutes of this one to get through. Newcastle lead 24-6. The Knights on the brink of breaking this 3-game losing streak. They'd get to 12 wins with 4 to play. They do have a bye as well. So, 12 wins. They're only going to win 1 of their next 4 to really lock it away, you'd think, if they can win this game tonight. Brisbane with the ball. Marinetta half play. Plays it on the NRL logo to Mam. Given to Jaden Hunt, who's had one of his better games tonight off the bench for Brisbane. Taken 15 in from the 40 from the goal line. Pass right to centre field for Ben Hunt. At the line, gives to Walsh. Oh, his pass is a misunderstood line from Jordan Ricky. He passed it into his bicep. It's a knock on. And now Ricky and Walsh are looking at each other. It's like, well, was that your fault? Was that my fault? Just a mucked up right side shift.
Reflecting on tonight's performance, when they needed to be better, they weren't. When they asked a question of the Knights, they were able to find an answer. It's been not so breathtaking by the Knights, but it certainly shows me they deserve to be. They've earned their right to be in the 8.
And the topsy-turvy Greater Western Sydney Giants have had one of their better nights. They've beaten Port at home by 2 goals. Full time, Greater Western Sydney 10-15-75, Port 9-9-63. Still at half-time in the other game. Carlton lead Brisbane by 3 goals. And the fans are in the aisles here, Zano. I know it's been thinning throughout the game. As here goes Croker for Newcastle. He'll be tackled 41 metres out. They've had a gutful, these members.
Yeah, 37,000 tonight, and about 5 already at the door.
Ponga tackled out on the right edge, and 35 from the Broncos line. The Knight skipper plays the ball to Cant. Passes left and centre field to Smith. Pops it up to Mooney. He's got that right arm ready for an offload. Decides not to give it under the tackle of Walters and Jaden Hunt. Played 32 out. Last play, Newcastle. Smith puts up a bomb. It'll come down 5 out. Walsh is underneath it. He's challenged for it by Sharp, but Sharp knocks it on in gathering the ball.
He got the better of the jump there. Unfortunately, couldn't control the ball. And now Walsh gets to play it. They're going to go 90 metres. Let's see if they can trouble the scoreboard at 10 at least between now and the end of this game.
Boy, won't the heat be on Red Hill in the lead into next week against the Dolphins.
Dolphins win, Q, and they're in. Talking about finals, they win. They'll get in the finals for the very first time if they win next week against the Broncos.
Is that the changing of the baton next weekend? If they win that game, maybe it's saying, hey, guess what? This is not your town. Share it.
Yeah. Well,
Voodoo Gurus are going to be the entertainment next week too, Q. We had Bliss and Echo tonight.
Are they going to play That's My Team?
Hopefully.
And who's the lead singer who wears he's a Cronulla fan? Dave.
Is it Dave Faulkner?
It's Dave from Hoodoo Gurus. And What's My Team? What year was that? 1998?
That was in my year, yeah.
As the rugby league song?
I reckon it's more 2003. I'll look it up.
No, that was in my year. It's the 90s.
Okay. Broncos have got the ball on the attack. 8.5 to go. Knights lead 24-6. Ben Hunt to the right, gives to Walsh, dummies and straightens, gets through McEwen, gets through Sharp, taken from behind, only 8 metres from the goal line by the tackle of Croker, played to Walters, given to Tolte, who knocks it on with the try beckoning, but the penalty goes to Brisbane. The Knights were offside.
Great run by Walsh. He's great to watch. When he's on, what he does no one else can do. He's just so quick. But Billy Walters come out and he challenged the defensive line. It was a high-pressure pass to Tolte. Yeah, but had he caught it, he would have scored. I can see what Walters was wanting to have happen. But get the ball back.
And I'm going to have to say that I was right. 2003 to 2007 NRL marketing theme song by the Hoodoo Gurus.
Well done, Zano.
2003.
I usually go with where I'm living, and I knew I was out in Richmond. So there you go.
You know what? I reckon 98, when I remember this for sure, when the Super League and the ARL came together for the 1998 season, they used Chumbawamba's Tub Thumping.
Correct.
I get knocked down, but I get up again. That was the reunification
And then Tom Jones after that too, didn't they, Q-Man?
Was it?
Where's My House, was it, or something like that?
Burning down the house?
That's it, something like that.
This must be a non-contest, and they're mucking around here. There's 8 minutes to go. Newcastle lead 24-6. Billy Walters has tried twice to tap the ball and restart play, but 10 minutes out.
Croker off on HIA 2, boys, just while we're waiting for this game to get back underway.
Okay. So Knights will be 12-8 with the Raiders at Canberra Stadium next week. They do get back underway. Tolte, who almost scored there but dropped the ball, penalty anyway. He's tackled. Couple of metres out at 12, too long, 6 more. Walters passes one man to the right for Carrigan. Runs into the tackle of Hopwood and others. Still a couple of metres from the Knights line. Walters to the left for Walsh. Ben Hunt pumps and gives to the left for Mam. He's tackled by Gagai and McEwen. 10 in from left touch and 5 from the Newcastle line. Played to Karapani. Sweeps the ball back right off. Nearly hit the head of Tolte. He ducked. Taken on the bounce by Ben Hunt. It's a bit of a mess. Gives it to Haas. Haas to the right for Staggs. Staggs to Best. Best gets him with help from Sharp. And Staggs will play it for the Bronx. 5 in from the right, 8 metres out. Back to the left. Through Walsh, who gives to Ben Hunt. Runs at the line. Gives to Mam at the line. Little ball there onto Jaden Hunt, who's tackled by Gagai and Smith. Couple of metres out. Back to the right. Walters for Ben Hunt. Inside line for Tolte. Great tackle. Frizzell around his ankles. That's 5. Last play for the Broncos. Walters out of dummy half. Gives it to the crash ball line of Jaden Hunt. He lost it. Newcastle's got it back. And Young's tackled on the right edge. And Knights fans, I think this little nervous 3-game stint's going to end here in Brisbane. Been a tough month for you and those key injuries, but they're back, the boys from the Hunter. There's 6.5 to go and they lead 24-6.
Well, that's their defence on full show there, the way they repelled a Broncos team which thought they could get across the line, but they couldn't because there was too much enthusiasm and effort from the Knights.
And Cat 2 for Croker Q.
Okay, thank you. Tess, Sess and Baby Beck, they listen to us in the Western Stand. They say we've had a gutful of the poor performances, but we're going to stay in the stand until the bitter end because we love our Broncos. So they're among the some that are staying. There's been plenty that are left. Knights maybe more points here on halfway. Left edge feeds to this impressive young Kiwi-born Francis Manoleleua. Tackled down out there by Staggs on the defensive right side. Knights are 35 out. Back to the right on the last for a Sandon Smith bomb. Best is charging through. Left out and caught though by Anderson of the Broncos. He's got to get to the ground though. Oh, eventually the tackle stop. He was almost going to be chucked over the touchline. Broncos start this set 15 from their own line. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. We got a text earlier on too saying, what do Knights ride, Billy? Broncos.
Yes.
This will be the first time in 7 games that Newcastle has beaten Brisbane. The Bronx have won the last 6.
When was that? Because they've been playing 1 game a year roughly, haven't they?
Zane had the exact...
It was round 21, 2021, so that's a long time ago.
Yep. As Tolte surges forward, taken 10 from halfway. 5 minutes to play at the Cauldron on NRL Saturday on ABC Sport. Reece Walsh tries a little chip and chase play. Oh, it bounced near Mam. He couldn't gather it. Nothing's working for the Bronx. Bounce favourably for Cant. Cant gives it to Fletcher Sharp and he pings 60 metres downfield to score a cherry on the top try for the Knights, who are back in the winner's circle.
Oh, what a fascinating passage of play. The Broncos rolled the dice. The old trusty combination of Walsh and Mam got together. Walsh, lovely little kick over the top, and it looked like it was going to be a perfectly weighted kick to Mam. It bounces and just rips in like a Shane Warne leg spinner. It just bounced so quickly he couldn't gather it. It's gone back in the hands of the Knights, who obviously, with all the Broncos running forward, the backfield is a big backfield. There was no one there, and the ball ends up in the hand of Fletcher Sharp, who's had a big game.
Second try for him tonight.
I love the way he plays. He's a great younger player. He's very versatile. What he does, he plays with passion and enthusiasm, and he gets a well-deserved try, and that finishes off well, there's still more points to come, but it's going to be 30-6. 6, which really does reflect how good the Knights have played today.
Now, Bradman Best, I said, loves this ground, but what about Fletcher Sharp? It's just his third game here at this venue, and he's got 7 tries. He loves playing up here at Lang Park.
I think he scored a hat-trick on his birthday during Magic Round.
On his 21st, I reckon, Q-Man.
Yeah, was it his birthday during Magic Round?
Last year's birthday, 21 on his birthday last year. I think it was against the Titans, wasn't it?
Yeah. Memories of Magic Round past in the back of my brain as Sandon Smith's thinking his lucky stars at this conversion attempt's right in front. He's only kicked 2 from 5 tonight, so this will at least get him to 50-50.
You've got to watch it.
We had one just go over the uprights, yet flagged away down the other end. No such trouble for Sandon Smith. Raises the flags. Knights 30, Broncos 6. 3 minutes and 40 seconds left. What do you think? Get in touch on 0467 920 222. Around the grounds, repeating, Greater Western Sydney beat Port Adelaide in the AFL by 2 goals. Carlton 14-8-92. Brisbane 10-7-67. Gee, both reigning premiers look like they might be having a tough night.
I'd love to see if Zana could interview the 2 touchies and find out, was there solidarity? Did one of them think, no, that actually went over?
Do you know what I reckon happened, Bill? I reckon one thought that it missed, and the other one went, I don't know, so he stuck with his mate.
That's what I want to find out exactly right.
But that's why they have the 2 of them there. In the old days, you'd have sort of...
And it's
almost like if it was the split decision, then you'd have the on-field referee decide.
I hate saying this too, but 2 Queenslanders as well, Tyson Brough and Michael Wise.
I reckon the referee wasn't really paying attention either.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't overrule straight away.
Well, they don't have to as much because they've got all the replays these days. 3 minutes to go. Newcastle running the ball upfield from the kickoff. Justin Holbrook canned at the Titans, went and worked underneath Trent Robinson at the Roosters, and now look at what his Knights are doing first year back in the hunt, a place that he knows so well. Sharp with an offload. Now here's young Hopwood going forward. You know, he's a 20-year-old in his 11th game. Young Manalele Ewa, 8th game. Jermaine McEwen, 32 games. These guys, they're playing terrific, consistent footy early in their career. Smith kicks downfield, Karapani catches. He's tackled 11 from his own line.
How old's Trey Mooney?
Trey Mooney's 24.
Yeah, how many games? About 50?
This is 43rd game.
There's some quality that they can just see they're going to polish up over the years.
They got him out of the Raiders at the right time. For his sake, Broncos have got the ball 20 from the southern end. Anderson up to the 20 he's tackled. Billy Walters gives off right shoulder to Staggs, who gains 10, taken on the 30. And you look around the stadium, the officials crowds come up at 37-5-3-8, but every aisle has got disappointed Broncos fans with their back to the play and walking out of the stadium to try and get an early lift home. To the left, man passes forward to the wing.
By a mile.
Yeah.
Right in front of us. Just clunky. It's just not happening for them tonight, and it reflective of the whole year. But that was down the left-hand side. Ezra Mann just passed it over a metre forward.
Hey, Barry from Mansfield on the text, Zano, before your interviews. Not a great game from the Bronx. How about 1999? Thomas Keneally with Blow That Whistle Ref.
Blow that whistle, ref.
Blow that whistle ref.
I remember that.
They went on a different path there.
Yeah, that wasn't overly celebrated, was it?
It has its own unique page in rugby league marketing history. Knights have got 70 seconds left here as Sharp's studs go through the surface. He slips trying to step and tackled by Jaden Hunt. Just repeating, if you've tuned in, Adam Reynolds ruled out of the game with a Cat 1 HIA early in the contest. He got steamrolled by Greg Marziu run. It's Cat 1, so he can't play against the Dolphins next week. Sharp with a little chip from 30 out. End of set, gets it into the in-goal area, and it rolls dead, untouched. So out to the 20 for a 7 tackle set for the Broncos, and with 40 seconds on the clock, it should be the last set of the game.
And Wilson hasn't returned to, even though they threatened for him to come back, he hasn't returned from that leg gash.
So he had a cut on his leg. Maybe the Dean Mariner scenario from the early part of the year was thought as well.
Yeah, he got stitches, I understand.
Yeah.
Err on the side of caution.
Yeah, after, of course, Mariner came back and returned to play, which thought he could, but then had that very big scare with the compartment syndrome. Inside the final 10 seconds, the Broncos have got the ball. It's in the hands of Jordan Ricky. He's wrapped up by Bradman Best and Fletcher Sharp. And after 3 tight losses in a row and a couple of important players going down with season-ending injuries, the Knights have found a reason to give their fans a smile again. They're back in the winner's circle. They look headed to the finals. From the spoon to the 8 for the Knights, the Broncos, from the penthouse to the asterisk house, 30-6 for Newcastle over Brisbane. It was 14-0 at half-time. 3 tries in the first half, 3 in the second half for Newcastle. Brisbane's only try coming in the second half. 2 tries to Sharp, 2 tries to Marju. Young and Crossland scored as well. It would have been worse if Sandon Smith had his kicking boots on. He kicked only 3 from 6, or it would have been better from a Knights perspective. For the Bronx, Walsh scored, Walsh converted, even though it was flagged away from straight in front. One of the more bizarre scenarios. Check that out on the ABC Sports socials. I reckon Jar Jar and our guru team will have some kind of tile ready to take you down the path of rugby league peculiarity and miscellany. Anyway, Newcastle's won at 30-6. Keep your texts coming, 0467 920 222. We'll wrap up the day, get Billy's votes, Zane's interviews. Well, what do you reckon about that one, Bill?
I'm very impressed by the Newcastle Knights, and all Nova Castrians should be proud of their side. Last week had 2 horrific injuries, Dylan Lucas, Dylan Brown, 2 representative centre players gone for the year, but they didn't find an excuse not to come to this place in front of 37,000 and find a way to say, oh, bad luck. They were very, very good.
Zano's found a Fletcher.
Yeah, I found a Fletcher. Found a man who knows how to put tries at this ground and put the ball over the line. What is it about this ground? There's 7 tries in 3 games here.
Yeah, I'm not too sure, actually. I actually had my mum say in the week, you always play good up at Suncorp, so glad we're coming here tonight to get a win.
You were very close the last 3 weeks. You finally got the victory tonight, and you don't have Dylan Lucas, you don't have Dylan Brown. What was the secret? It looked as though you and Sandon were really intent to run it and really put pressure on those edges for the Broncos.
Yeah, we spoke about that during the week. I think our last month has sort of been separated by 2 or 1 point. So me and Sandon spoke during the week. We're going to come out here and stamp our mark on the game, and it's us to the end of the year. So we want to come out tonight and show what we can do, and I think we put in an 80 minutes performance tonight, which was pleasing.
Phoenix went down with a calf injury. Is that a concern? You just keep losing spine members.
I know we've had a tough couple of weeks on the injury front, but Feeney's a tough bugger. I'm sure he'll go home, get the recovery he needs, and good to go soon, hopefully.
All right, now you got the Raiders, which are always hard work for you guys, and certainly the way you're going at the moment. What is the goal? I mean, it looks like you only need 1 more win and you're in the 8. What's the goal for you guys? Do you think you can perhaps get the top 4, or are you just thinking, okay, we'll try and get in the finals?
Yeah, someone spoke about all year, that top 4 finish. It gives you the best chance going into the back end of the season. So that's definitely still in the forefront of our minds. We know we need to string a couple of wins together, and I think tonight was a good building block for that.
And I want to ask you about Dane Gagai. Unbelievable. He's got spiders on him. He was going in the middle there, and he's pushing blokes off. I know you'd be sad to lose him, but what's he been like for you guys this year?
Yeah, he just keeps getting better, Gags. It's a privilege to play alongside him. What he's done in the game, he's a legend of the sport, and to run out every week, you know he's going to do a job for you, and he did that once again tonight.
Well, look, I know that the Knights don't like going to Canberra. It's one of your worst road trips, but the way you're playing at the moment, watch out, Green Machine. Thanks for chatting to us, Fletcher Sharp. Really appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thanks very much, mate.
Good on you, Zano. Fletcher Sharp, 2 tries tonight. Fullback last week, 5/8 tonight. They do have a number of these versatile playmakers, even though Phoenix Crossland is a question mark for next week against the Raiders. So, Knights 12 wins, 8 losses. Here's the road home. Canberra in Canberra. Gold Coast at the Hunter. Manly at the Hunter. The Warriors at Mount Smart. And the bye in round 27 before what looks like a return to the final. So repeating, away to Canberra, home to Gold Coast, home to Manly, away to the Warriors. For the Knights, they've only got 4 games left before what looks like a glorious trip to the postseason in the first year under Justin Holbrook.
That bye in the last round is not a bad thing.
If they're in the 8, yeah.
Freshening up.
Yep.
I think that for
To play a sudden death game and probably, well, who knows? They might be on the road. They might be able to get to host it.
I think that they will be in the finals. What I saw tonight, the defence queue was fantastic. In attack, with those players missing, they were still able to have plenty of strike.
Now, Zano's, he was circling there. He's still circling. He's got, is he, a bit shy. One of your old mates, you've spoken to him on 1,000 Origin camps over the years as well. Down to you, Zano.
Look, I don't like cutting him off from conversations. He's one of my favourite people. Usually he changes jerseys. You decided who you're going to change your jersey with tonight?
Nah, well, when I was up here in Magic Round, I caught up with my cousin Josh Hoffman, and I made my debut alongside him, and he was the reason I signed with the Broncos at the end of 2008, and he brought in one of his old Broncos jerseys, and he swapped with me there. So I won't be swapping with none of these boys, and to be honest, that's probably the most special jersey that I've gotten so far.
All right, and of course you'll be wearing one next year as well. When you know that you're coming to a club, I mean, I used to hate playing against my former clubs, but this is one of your former clubs. You're coming back here. Was there sort of a motivation that you wanted to play well tonight up here?
No, not really. Probably more so the fact of the last couple of weeks, we've been putting in a lot of effort and playing some decent football, but just been losing by 2 points, and last week by 1 point, and I thought it was a massive effort. A few big injuries in that game, but we've been fighting hard, and we're obviously still in the top 8, but we want to, I guess, have a good run going into finals and try to cement our spot in the top 8. So that's my focus is there. So.
You're one of the few players in this night's lineup that knows about playing in finals, Dane. I just spoke to Fletcher Sharp, and he said, sky's the limit. You guys are still targeting top 4. Where do you think you guys sit in terms of this competition?
Yeah, I think we showed tonight when we get it right. I think the biggest thing was our defence, and especially when they got a bit of momentum, they got a bit of a roll on, and then we had to defend our try line, and the effort from especially our middles, who had been working hard and busting their asses to, I guess, try keeping down this end of the field. We just kept turning them away, and obviously they've had a bad run of injuries and had a pretty tough season, but at the end of the day, like they still got a dangerous side that can hurt you if you're not on, and I think that's the most I'm proud of with the boys, is that we turned up and we put in the effort and we got the rewards.
What about the development from the coach as well for young players like Francis Menulai-Lua? Unbelievable his performance. He came up with a magic ball to put, I think it might have been Marzu over. It's amazing what he's coming up with.
Yeah, I think that's off the back of, I guess, the whole coaching staff we got. Obviously, Justin's done a great job, and he's brought in some, I guess, great staff alongside us. We've got Halsey, who's our attack coach, and has been able to unlock our players like KP and Fletcher Sharp, and Sandon Smith was unbelievable tonight. And then our boys off the back of that, like you said, Francis, look, mate, he's an athlete. Credit to him too. I think he's lost about 7 kilos. He's put in the work, and we're getting to see the back end of it, what he's been doing. So everyone's buying into what we're trying to do leading into the finals.
Well, Dane, you're 35 years of age. I said you came into this match 5th for tackle breaks. I think you made about another 12 tonight. You've been remarkable. Can't wait to see you back up here next year, but best of luck on the rest of the season. Who knows where your nights can go.
No, thank you. Appreciate it.
Dane Gagai with Zane Bojack after his Newcastle Knights snapped a 3-game losing streak to register their 12th victory of the season. They've beaten the Broncos 30-6. The Broncs remain with just 6 wins and now 13 losses for the season. They've got the Dolphins next week. And the Knights, they go to Canberra to play the Raiders. Billy Moore, I'd like your thoughts in 3, 2 and 1, please, because we've got not only the 2 wraps from the 2 other NRL games today, but we've got a wrap on day 1 of NRLW Magic Round to get through. But Bill, the floor is yours.
Well,
Knights 30, Broncos 6.
The score reflects how good the Knights were, how poor the Broncos were. Broncos, their process just fell apart. I think they completed at 65%. So you're not going to win against a side that turns up with enthusiasm, with passion. They've been pipped in the last 3 games, the Knights. 2 points, 1 point. So they've been playing well, just haven't got the wins they wanted, needed. Tonight, their defence was great. The fact that they held the Broncos to 6, to me, was more important than the scoring of 30. But their 30 was great as well. It was spectacular, some really good football. And we spoke before the game how it just seems that Coach Holbrook in his first year there had struck a good chord with the players. And I always say that, a coach is going well when he turns Tier 3 players into Tier 2, Tier 2 into Tier 1. And then your strike players have other opportunities around them, because those other guys, as they get better, the defence gets caught out, and then they have to pay more attention to the lesser lights, which gives the real guns their chance. And we saw tonight, there was no Dylan Brown, no Dylan Lucas, but there was no excuses. But Pong was able to really rise to the occasion. Things crossed them, was able to rise because other players around them are causing havoc as well. So well done to the Knights, and I look forward to seeing them play finals football in September.
Who got your votes?
Okay, well, special mention, I thought Sandon Smith, he didn't get points, but it was great. Francis Menulelua.
Get used to that, saying his name, because I think we're going to be saying it for a while. 22 years of age, 8th game, Manulelua of Newcastle.
Yeah, I think he'll play every chance of being in the World Cup squad as well.
Yeah.
They were special mentions, but I gave 3 points to Fletcher Sharp, 2 tries, 14 carries, 170 odd metres, 6 tackle breaks. I thought he's just rising and rising. He's the barometer for me of the Knights. This is a guy that is young. He's 22, I think, is he?
He's 22. It's his 44th game tonight.
Yeah.
And this has been a team that has had to shuffle the deck chairs, but wherever he's put, does the job.
Find solutions, not excuses. Love him. I gave 2 to Carlin Ponga. We knew he's the strike factor. He's the money man. Give him the ball, and he got the ball plenty of times. 2 try assists. When he plays well, they're every chance of winning. I gave 1 point to Trey Mooney, the big front rower. 19 carries, 155 metres, 76 post contact, 24 tackles. Again, to me, he was a Tier 3. When he left the Raiders, you go on Trey Mooney. Oh yeah, not sure how he's going to go, because he was still like a bit of a filler at the Raiders.
And Jake Saifidi obviously out at the moment too.
So he's come in and said, thanks a lot for the opportunity, watch what I can do. And that again is testimony to what Holbrook is creating. And we heard Dane Gagai talk about the players buying in. You can see that.
3 to Sharp, 2 to Ponga, 1 to Mooney. Thank you, Billy. Newcastle 30 over the Broncos 6. Quick around the grounds. By the way, they had 80,000 at that soccer pre-season game in Sydney between Chelsea and Tottenham. Apparently, Spurs won 2-1 with only 10 men. So there you go.
Wow.
Just got a text from Mark in Chile. 75. So the upset is on there. The Blues lead the Lions by 6 goals with 4.5 minutes left in the third quarter. You can hear it on ABC Listen. Righto, we've got a big day of footy to get through. Before we do the 2 NRL games, let's get to 2650, my old hometown, Wagga Wagga, no doubt, welcoming the NRLW community with